welcome to another phase. Shamus Bourget.
Big Schmidt.
So this one, a little bit something different here. We had a homie Mitch Van Vliet come over the other day and do a little bit of a podcast. Long story short, I wasn't sure how I was going to do it video-wise. I set up a couple of cameras and I set up the 360 camera. The 360 camera died halfway through. The plan was to sort of do a podcast that was 360 that you could see. Long story short, not going to happen. Also, the file's huge as fuck. So I'm just going to chop it all up. It goes for like 2 hours. So bloody grab a pizza and a fucking drink and kick back and relax, right? Because that's about it. Other than that, we're just talking a bunch of shit. Hope you enjoy it. Other than that, I don't think there's any much else to really put down. We just talk some shit and now we're telling you that that's what the whole thing is. So don't expect extreme, gnarly, crazy stuff. This is just some real shit, talking a bunch of nonsense with Mitch from Vliet Street Podcast. Enjoy. Check out the link underneath too if you want to check out the actual podcast, if you don't want to sit there and watch us. If you just want to listen.
If you're just a listener. Which
is always a go. Right on. Enjoy. Peace out.
Catches.
Check. Oh, I turned my... Check. Yo. MDP podcast. Do the volumes at all? Is everything alright?
I reckon you could come up a bit.
Yeah,
you sound a bit quiet.
Bogs could probably go down.
I reckon I could go down. I sound very loud.
Right,
I'm
loud
anyway.
I've got to fucking work out who's who.
Give us a bit of a spill there, Schmidt.
What do you want to hear?
Just anything. Just make some sounds.
Yo. Here we are.
Pretty good, mate. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Do you want me to move, or is this we're in good positions?
I think we'll be right.
Yeah, wicked.
Good. I can see everyone. Apart from Schmidt and his OCD and all the cables everywhere.
So bad.
You need a longer headphone.
Come in a bit.
We can extend that if you want.
Nah, all good.
You good?
I don't know whether to plug my phone in so we can play the pop and monos. Fucking.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Intro that shit with the poppin' monos. No, you might get fucking ripped down. It's fucking copyright. Did
you get copyrighted for that?
Yeah.
From Wiz?
Yeah, but it's only blocked in Australia, man. Wiz only blocked it in Australia, so all the Americans can still watch Papa Monos, but you can't watch it here.
But they don't get it because they don't know what Melton is.
Nah, or Monos because they call them wheelies. Fuck them anyway. They're fucked. They're going down anyway. That's not boop boop.
Americans going down. Yeah, because they're opening from the fucking corona. The second wave will kill them all.
They're just the empire that might need to fall. But anyway,
he's falling.
Well, I'm not. But are we started? Have we started?
It's
here?
recording, so we can go where I just press record because
that's cool.
Sometimes it starts without warning, and then other times it needs to be started.
I will say, Shane, that light in front of us is fucking bright, man.
This one here, or this one here?
Yeah, it's peaking.
Yeah, you get that. Welcome to the limelight, bro. This is what it's like on the big stage, bro.
Yeah, well,
welcome.
Let's fucking do it, man.
Were you crocking this heater the whole time?
No, I'm gonna go turn that off real soon.
No, I was just gonna take my jumper off.
Yeah, fair. That's cool. I'm thinking about doing that pretty
MDP
soon too.
Anyway.
Yeah, well, I reckon I'll end up taking my jumper off pretty soon anyway. Whew. But yeah, here we are. Cool.
So you're videoing this, yeah?
Yep.
You gonna put it out on your own thing?
I think if you're cool with that.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
But do you care if people know your story, like as in because if it's like an interview towards you, you don't give a fuck?
No, I don't care what this is.
Yeah,
we're
sweet.
have a yarn. Get in. We'll get in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sort of thinking like that's. I've probably got those 2 cams there that I'll end up using just to chop up everything and just have a short and then just upload that as like a full 360 sort of. You can sit down and watch us. See what happens. Seeing what happens here. Just winging it.
Fucking wing it.
Winging it.
Fuck yeah, sweet. Let's get into it.
Right on.
We were here with Seamus, broke-ass Borgs, or Shane. I've had people come up to me and they'll be like, because my wife hates it, but I rock MDP every day.
Yeah, word.
Just because it's comfy, especially these shorts, man.
Yeah,
and people rock it and they'll be like, oh, you know Shane? Oh, who the fuck is Shane?
It's I don't know. I've got a few names to go by, but I'm just Shane, broke ass, Shamus, Bourget, might die, MDP kid. Whatever.
MDP. And then we've also got Matt Smith. Smitty.
Big
Yo.
Schmidt.
Yep.
And this is a MDP. When I first started my podcast, you were like when I was thinking of guests, you were one of the first people that popped into mind.
Yeah, when you started your podcast, I was like,
Please ask me.
I hope he asked me to have a talk. This is going to be cool. Yeah,
But yeah,
fuck
there's no rules. You can talk about whatever the fuck you want. You can swear.
Oh,
Whatever-
I
yeah.
don't swear.
I was going to say, fucking
Well-
hell, don't tell him that.
I don't swear.
You got to switch. And when because I've been saying, like, I saw all my family yesterday, even though we're on lockdown, whatever. We're all at Dad's farm.
Social distancing.
Yeah,
too, obviously.
social
Practicing
distancing.
social distancing. We live together, so we're fine. We've got the 1.2, whatever the fucking bullshit it is.
I told my whole family about it, and it was funny. My cousin Michaela and my wife Stevie both said, I was like, he's probably going to swear. And I'm like, yeah. And they're both gone, actually, he's got a light switch because you commentate for us at all 4FMX shows.
Yeah.
And we'll be, before the show, you'll be like, yeah, Connor, fuck you. And then all of a sudden you start the show and no swear words.
Yeah.
And I was
Well, I
like,
think
I don't know
it's
how
like-
I don't know how you do that.
Sometimes I don't know how I do it either. I think it is, at the start it was real hard.
Yeah.
I had to really, because like I'm a pretty fast talker too, so it
Yeah.
just all blabs out. When I do go out there on the mic, I sort of slow it all down and make sure I think about what I'm saying before I say it.
Yeah.
And I think that helps a lot, where once I'm excited or just not thinking about what I'm talking about, man, I'll throw around some F-bombs and some C-bombs like it's nothing. But I can sort of hold my shit together. If
Yeah.
I,
Well, I MC a bit myself now as well for monster trucks and stuff.
Yep.
And I won't swear that day at all.
Yep.
I can't do that light switch thing that you do where you just...
So like you'll get up and almost practice not swearing all day. So once
Yeah,
the time
I'll
comes-
just make sure that I string my sentences together all day.
Yeah.
I won't swear all day.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of change the pitch of my voice all day, and
Yep.
because I can't do
Yeah.
that on-off thing that you do.
Yeah, I don't. Now you've made that like almost an obvious point to me. I don't know how I fucking do that either.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah, no, sweet. Well, let's go back in time.
Yeah.
The first time me and you met was at trade school, but we kind of don't remember. We kind of just
Yeah.
figured it out that we went to trade school
I
together.
think so. Yeah, definitely.
But then-
signies, repping all the signies out there.
Yeah,
Whoop,
that's
whoop.
it, yeah.
If it's even going to be a thing anymore, but yeah, we did it when we were there.
That's it. And then we met at Eka 2000. I don't know what year it was. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
Doing freestyle shows.
Yep.
And then I didn't realize how much of an OG into freestyle you are.
Yeah.
Like, you've been around forever.
Well, yeah, both of us, I guess, to a point.
Yeah.
Like we were.
Doing it forever,
Forever.
since kids.
Like
Like,
me-
that's what we did.
Yeah, when did we met? When we like we've got deep history, me and him. Like we
Yeah.
literally
I think it
have
was like
known
99, 2000.
Yeah, like have known each other since we were young. When you first start going out and you've got your first friends and you're allowed to go out and do things
yeah.
with them, like that was like me and him, and even like the depths of it too. It's like he was best friends with my cousin in primary school and shit. So like even at birthday parties when we were like not even
Young.
knowing anything, like we were around each other. Like it's super weird to be honest. But going back to sort of like the riding deal, we started riding young, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, we were riding before we knew each other.
Yeah. Well,
And then-
both of us started
and
like
then-
got on a bike at 4. Like
Yeah.
both our parents were, my old man
Into
rode
it.
fucking dirt bikes. Your old man rode road bikes.
Yeah.
So we've always been around bikes. And I think, once we sort of all connected and the whole Crusty Demons thing came in, we were just all about it. And that's what sort of, we would,
It was a
doing bloody-
decision we made and like something we wanted to do without even speaking about it.
Yeah.
It was just,
And a
we knew
long,
that
long,
that's what
long
was going
time
on.
ago. And,
Yeah.
we sort of grew up with it. And there was that point where I rode, we all rode for a bit. And then, I sort of, I'd put it down to probably like crashed a lot more than everyone else and then still had this weird passion for the camera. So I just sort of stepped out. And I always wanted, like, behind all the whole riding thing, my whole passion was to, like, make my own Krusty, like, have our own deal.
Well, I didn't even know you rode until you re-released FXT Underdogs. Yeah. And I watched that and I was like, fucking Boggs is on the bike.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like that.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like, when I was riding, it was never really, like, no one really registered like, but we're coming back and people being surprised about it. It sort of gives you a little bit of like, I had a bit of a
that's
go.
me. Yeah, I mean, I was an OG.
Yeah, I had a crack. It was good, but I mean, back to that, like that goes like I sort of took the camera and went like, I want to make movies about this shit. Where like, you know, he was like fucking writer through and through. I'm gonna take it to the top, sort of thing. You know what I mean? And like, you know, to a point, you fucking did. You knocked off fucking plenty of, you know, dreams you had. And
Yeah, for sure. I lived a lot of the dreams that I thought of, 100%. But yeah, that's, I guess, a whole nother story.
Well, let's dig into it.
Yeah.
Tell you here as well.
Well,
dig into it.
Yeah, I rode freestyle motocross and started off obviously when we were young and then I just kept progressing. As Balls was saying, he filmed, I rode, and then there was a whole bunch of us. It wasn't just us two. Kept pushing, moved away to Queensland when I was 21. Kept pushing, that's why I moved, for riding. Weather, all that stuff. Spots up there were a whole lot better. Met a good crew up there, and then, just head down, ass up, rode heaps, practice every day. That's pretty much what I did. But also, with that come a lot of injuries, broken legs, broken bones, heaps of, like, multiple broken legs and surgeries. Ended up last one breaking both of my legs. Having them fused, massive time off the bike and just recovery. Got massively addicted to painkillers, opiates, Valium, all that stuff over about a 10-year period. And now like a year and a half, a year and 3/4, nearly 2 years clean. And loving it. So obviously, whoa.
Wow, Boggs.
Sorry about that. Just changing batteries on the camera. We're back on.
Obviously, it's a lot more in depth than that, and his pretty gnarly story and whatnot, and we can get into that. I don't mind at all. But that's pretty much a basic overlook on where I come from, what I've done, and where I'm at now. Pretty much living with Borgs and ripping again, riding, working, living, killing it.
Well, I like my background into it was I grew up racing. That was my thing. I was racing. And so when I got into freestyle was when I met Borgs, and up until like the last year and a half when you've become off the pain meds and all that stuff, and you've reconnected with Borgs and MDP and stuff.
And I
actually didn't like. Don't take this the wrong way, but I wasn't into the crusties when they first came out. I cared more about bar to bar and racing supercross and all that shit. So I didn't really know of you, and then it wasn't until like you were around and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's cool, like whatever. And I didn't realize the history you had. And then I think, did you release a video, like a podcast style video?
We're talking to him.
Yeah, and you go into depth.
I
remember watching that. And I was like, fuck, this dude's like, he's legit. Like I didn't.
There's a lot of years of everything, I guess. Well, I'm 31 now, and that's all I did. That's what I did. It was my job for a long time, and that's all I wanted to do. I love riding, and I'm all about bikes, and that's pretty much where I put myself in life.
You were in the core of it, like, you know, we're sort of
I planted myself in the Southern California of Australian, freestyle motocross, which was the Gold Coast, and it was cracking at the time. Like everyone was into it, and all the pros of Oz, the scene that at that time were there, living there. If they weren't living there, they were up there. A lot of the time, So who were you riding with up there? Like whose compounds were you riding at and stuff like that?
Name dropper. Get them out, son. Come on, drop some fucking names. Every cunt and his cunt that ever rode up there, like realistically.
Yeah, so there was pretty much a place that all the, core Gold Coast guys could ride, and that was at Bayard's joint. Shout out Adam Bayard.
Word.
Legend. He pretty much, his parents and himself opened up his property and said, anyone that needs to ride that's in the scene and doing it and trying to make something, a go of it, like, you can come here and use this for your training ground. So that's where we rode. And that was a couple of ramps on a 75-foot setup, one down ramp. Side by side. And
for a point there, there were points there where you'd almost get a rush of, like, the whole industry at times,
Yeah, definitely.
Most people in those times, even that were like pretty high up in like riding, probably rode at Bayards.
Yeah, definitely. Like even to the point that like the Deegans and stuff like that, when they'd come over from the States
for their tours and whatnot.
Tours, and if they'd land in Brizzy to start off with, well then they'd obviously go there. That happened a few times and whatnot. So, so that was just pretty much your everyday ride place for myself. And then Shoey's, Dirt Demons, like Shoey's was fucking epic.
Yeah.
I
absolutely
reckon you
epic.
should talk about, because you'd be interested in, like, there's a bit of connection, like
Common ground.
common ground. That's the right word to use. Yeah, like even the way you talk about Shoeies is like
I can't say nothing bad
you
about the
dribble
place.
as you talk about it.
I love it. It's what his good days are made of when you go out there, that's for sure. Especially when he owned it, he could prep it, he had the equipment to do so.
Yeah.
That's what he did pretty much 24/7 on the place.
He was pride and joy.
Yeah. So it was always a dream to go out there and ride and do it over and over and over again, and I thank him, Shuey, for letting me do it. So
Yeah.
But that place was sweet. There was heaps. It wasn't just your consistent, like, 75-foot ramp setup. Like, obviously that was there.
Mixing it
to
up.
train. Yeah, there was 120-foot ramps. There was super kickers. There was dirt hits from 120 foot to 180 foot over hills. There was step ups. There was fucking everything, hip jumps. It was just
Step
a
up,
playground. It was an absolute playground, and yeah, I guess got to ride it with a lot of cool and well-known people, and I guess that was always a good thing, and why I wanted to put myself in that area and scene at the time, because there was so many people to learn from, so many good people, and that's all I wanted to do was learn and push myself. So yeah, that's pretty much quick rundown.
Yeah. So what, the crash that you broke both your legs, like, was that just a mistake, or you trying something new?
Yeah, so I'd just gotten back from overseas.
Doing shows and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
riding in China, doing shows over there. And
Sorry.
Borg's making noise again.
Yeah.
When got back from there, and then basically got a call from that same promoter. I got a show for you down in Sydney, and I was living obviously on the Gold Coast at that time. So me and a housemate at the time, Sammy B, shout out Sammy, drove down to Sydney, and I jumped on. Obviously felt really good on my Aussie bike, and just felt at home, whatnot. Didn't think much of it. Warmed my bike up, not much from what I've been told, and then rode in, and just it was a bit of an uphill run in, and went really slow. I jump ramps slow as it is, but I went really, really slow. And
And you're on two-stroke?
Yeah, 252 stroke. Top deck the truck, dislocated both feet on impact on the foot pegs, and then because I had it wide open on stopper, it got traction on top of the truck, wheelied, so I just threw it off the top of the knuckle and then floated with dislocated feet to the bitumen, flattened both feet, pushed tibs and fibs into the bottom of my feet, come down with about 3.5 ton of pressure through both legs, and just Liz Frank fractured my left foot, which is pretty bad injury in the way of breaks, and did something gnarly in my right, but that was like not as bad when you compare it to a Liz Frank fracture. But messed up, knocked out instantly pretty much, and trying to walk on both legs, spaghetti.
You got up, huh?
Yeah, try getting up.
And just
Because you were concussed? Like you were a bit out of it, and you just like...
I didn't hit my
yeah,
head. It's always an adrenaline thing. I don't remember much. If it's bad enough, I'll just shut off.
Yeah.
And then you passed out, so it's almost like...
So you passed out from pain?
Yeah,
Pretty
just
much.
too much adrenaline got you up, but then pain just went, you're going out,
adrenaline gland just opened right up and just went, flood him. Just it flooded my brain and shut it off. Yeah. I couldn't feel nothing, but... went into hospital, and this went on for years, obviously, until I got the fusions done. Multiple surgeries, talking about cutting my feet off, amputations. It was a whole lot, and that was due to all the other breaks I'd had over the years since 2006 up until something stupid like 2000.
But did you have issues with pain meds before that incident, or was that what kick-started it?
My first break is what kick-started it.
Yeah.
Which
was years before.
That was in 2006.
Yeah.
So in 2006, I broke my first leg, and that was pretty bad. I pushed both leg bones through my right foot in that one as well, and I had to have an external cage put on, and I was in hospital for ages. So that kick-started in a big way because I was exposed.
That was before you'd moved, wasn't it?
That was, that was still living in Victoria.
Yeah. Melton.
Yep.
Papa Monos.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, man. There's been a lot go in with breaks and injuries and whatnot, but I kind of lost me train of thought on that one. But
yeah. So and then that last one that you described before.
Yep.
Was that it? Was that the end of the freestyle dream?
Well, yeah, as such. So obviously from '06 all the way up until I think it was 2013 when I broke both legs. I'd gone through it going, oh, this is going to get better. I'm going to stop getting injured, and it's going to keep going. But I obviously kept getting injured and it only got worse and worse because I was still so heavily on medication.
Yeah.
But yeah, after 2013, I've ridden three times you could say on ramps since then.
Yeah.
Up until this day. So yeah, you could say it definitely stopped it, but that was because of complications with so many ongoing surgeries and not knowing what I was going to have done with my feet, and then the outcome now. So I know now I'm right to kind of have a go.
The drugs you were on,
and the drugs I was on, like that.
They had
clouded
you
me.
convinced that you were still too sore to ride.
Yeah, so I fully thought in myself, I was in pain, heaps of pain.
Yeah.
So obviously I made the decision to have both feet fused under the influence, and the decision was all mine, and I'm not too sure if I was in pain now, knowing being clean.
Yeah.
So yeah, I potentially had both feet fused when I didn't have to.
Yeah.
Maybe, but who knows? I'll never know. So whatever, it is what it is, and I'm pretty happy and lucky that it is the way it is now and what I can still do. So I'm not going to dwell on the situation at all.
Well, if amputation was in the talks as well, and you still got them and whatnot.
Yeah, I can still ride. I can still walk. I can still.
Yeah.
And that's saying with all that, I don't take any medication at all from morning to night any time now. Haven't done. So
And you in pain?
Not at all, man.
Nah.
Not at all.
And you still got heaps of metal and stuff in there, or?
Had a lot of it removed, but I don't know what's in there now, to be honest. I've lost track. There's been that many surgeries, like I said, in the last little bit of it, and I was so clouded with the medication that it kind of all become as one, and it's a big blur. But I think I still got a couple of screws and maybe a plate or stuff here and there in both, holding things that need to be held still.
Yeah.
But there's still a heap of complications in that sense. I've got paralysed toes and left foot's really bad that Liz Frank fracture was in. So still dealing with stuff, but nowhere near as bad as not having a foot or both feet. So I can't complain.
That's fucking gnarly, man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Full on shit, man.
We should have ended with that.
Yeah, I know. Where do we go from here?
Cut it.
Yeah. But it is, man. I feel like I sidelined a lot of it. And I took myself away from it for a long time too because
so did you two fall out of friendship when you're going through this stuff, or you kind of closed the door to everyone?
Well, we fucking had we've had our own, man. We because we've literally grown up for so long. We had young.
You've had growing pains.
We had young pains.
Yeah.
Like fuck you and your bullshit. We all
pretty much me and another dude out of the crew left and did our own thing, and then Borgs and another couple of dudes left and did their thing, and we kind of split, and then we come back together and we're all through again, and then
so I don't think it was never lost. It was he moved to Queensland. Firstly, we're in fucking completely different states that we're not seeing each other every day and shit anyway, so it gets lost anyway. And then there was that point of if I was ever in Queensland or whatever, we'd catch up, all that sort of thing. Yeah. But I could also see the
So
the
I left in 09 and 06 was my first crash. So you've seen 06, 7, 8, 9, 3 years of me slowly turning into a opiate drug addict.
Still pushing the career hard and moving forward and getting number one places and still moving forward. But there was still that underlying if this fucking gets him, he's fucked. You know what I mean? And
I feel like there's a lot of that kind of behaviour and not even just in freestyle, in motocross too.
Oh man,
there's a lot,
sports in general. Yeah. It all gets sort of pushed a little bit under the table. Where it's truth is, you get into any sports, you're probably going to be fucked after it. And don't get caught in the fucking drug game either, because these prescription pills are going to fuck you up more than the sport ever could.
Unfortunately, we're just exposed to it a whole lot easier because we do get injured a lot more than the normal person walking down the street. But anyone's exposed to it. Doctors are just, they're ruthless, man. They're fucking ruthless.
Yeah, no, that's I can vouch for that.
Yeah, I think everyone can.
I got packs of endone at home.
Yeah,
that's right.
And I was I don't have that addictive personality or anything like that. Yeah. I kind of always made it a goal to see how far I could go without taking the pain meds and whatnot.
Yep.
And Yeah, I got boxes of the shit, man.
Yeah.
And like they just throw it out. Like I'd go in there. I've broken both ankles on separate occasions.
Yep.
Both wrists, both shoulders, collarbones. Broke my jaw and all that shit. Yeah, it's the first thing they do, man. Is
Bang,
throw either
You'll be right.
endone or tramadol or one of those fucking things at you and just
Definitely, and it's fucked because then they turn around and say, "Oh, but don't take much of it. Like, be careful." Or they don't say that, but then you're already 3 weeks or 4 weeks, 5 weeks into it, and then they start telling you because they can't give it to you. So
Yeah.
like, it's almost like they've got you on a rope or a string, then, and it's just a fucking rat race.
yeah, but they like giving it to you anyway. Because there's been times where I've gone back for a checkup. And they're like, "Oh, do you need more endone?" I just say yes to see what they
Yeah.
fucking.
Revenue.
Because they're fucking getting fucking under the table.
Yeah.
Like, mate, it's plain as pudding. And when you put yourself and you've been around it, all these things, like what's going on in the world today, it's like once you've actually experienced bullshit firsthand, you know that it's real.
Yeah.
And you also know how big and crazy things can get. And like that just multiplies. So if it's a little bit of fuckery here, that means that fuckery's everywhere.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, that's where it's, the
Yeah,
fucking
it's just-
pharmaceutical, like Big Pharma is the fucking devil.
Yeah.
And we are dealing with him as we speak. Like and a lot of people are starting to bow down to his bullshit. It's like, man, fuck Big Pharma.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like,
They're
they
gonna
fucked
make
this
a
cunt up. I watched them
mandatory
cunt
vaccine.
Fuck this cunt
They
up. I
fucked me
watched
up
it.
good.
And like, fuck them and their bullshit.
But I know all that information now, I've flipped my life, so they better watch the fuck out because I'm dangerous to them now.
Yeah.
Like and that's the knowledge in it. It's like you got to know what's sort of good for you, and once you realize, after going through the rehab stage that he went through, like he's learning so much about himself and the human body because you lost it.
Yeah.
Like he lost
So
these like
much.
senses and feelings and like, and it's like you get that lost in that shit that like he's relearning it. It's almost like
Even to the point
he's
where
teaching me shit because like I'd forgotten that sense of
Yeah, well, it's shit
reality.
you've always, yeah.
It's fucking weird, man.
Yeah, it's like you've always had it, so you've kind of taken it for granted.
Yeah.
And you see it from another
Someone's
perspective, and you're
"Man,
like,
I've never realised how fucking, and you're like, well, I've never thought about it like that either.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
yeah,
It's
it's
interesting.
a gnarly road, that's for sure. All
Yeah.
of it when you're in it and around it. And I guess in saying that, all I can say is people always ask me what's the trick to it all. You've got to want it.
Yeah.
Basically, you've got to want to get off the shit or not do whatever you're doing. First case, and then also having good people around. That's the best.
yeah,
thing.
well, that's it. Like
Being
like
able
you
to
said,
speak and
you're
not
not
feel
gonna have
like
a
you're being
babysitter the
judged.
whole time.
Yeah, that's right.
So, like, if you don't want to get off it, someone can be like, "Oh, you're not doing it." You like, and they're sitting beside you. They're gonna go to sleep, and if you want to do it that bad, you'll fucking
Yeah, well,
You would
so
do
many
it.
times I've been tried. People have tried to force me to rehab and that, and I knew like I'm not going there unless I'm ready. Until
Yeah.
I'm going to take myself there because I only wanted to go once.
Yeah.
And I knew if I had have been pushed there, I would have failed at it and just who knows what. But
Yeah.
So yeah, in the end, I took myself there because I knew like 100% I want to do this now. I know it's a problem. I know what's
Do
at
you think a lot of
hand.
it's got
Fucking
to-
deal with it.
Got to do with like accepting a lot within yourself. Like,
Oh
before
yeah,
those-
growing
those
up,
first few
growing
weeks
up,
of-
like going through it as in the years I did in my life, I guess there was ego, there was everything. So I couldn't get through the bullshit because I was there was a big shield there of like standing up to something that I'd kind of I guess made for myself to. Yeah, I
an
guess
excuse sort of. It's
yeah,
like
or
a bullshit. Yeah.
pretty much, and yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fucking.
Yeah, I've lost my track there, but I seem to do that a lot now. That's one of the fucking issues after all this. I definitely lose my track of thought. Because
Yeah.
I just mine's racing flat out.
You're like at the
That's one of the things I'm learning with like the senses and that Borgs was talking about. Like, is just talking to people is like working that out because I didn't do it for so long, or maybe I just didn't care about it
yeah.
for so long. Now I do care about things so much. It's a big thing. All these little things that you wouldn't even think about is such a fucking big problem, and it's crazy because it's like I should know this. I should. I'm fucking 31, but like the brain's crazy, and I've got to retrain it all again because it spent all its time worrying about when it was going to get its next fix.
Yeah.
So it was, it's crazy knowing all this stuff now and have living, the year and a half, nearly 2 years clean. So much shit's happened and gone on and changed, and all for the good, for the better. It's sick, but yeah, it's actually fucking a spin out. Just lost the camera there.
Yeah, one of them's beeping at you.
Well, they were recording though.
This one's got a green flashing light.
Yeah.
It's still recording, isn't it? 10? I might have just started a new...
Oh yeah, new clip,
New clip, yeah.
fresh clip.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all that. I guess it's all pretty crazy, but yeah, it is what it is now.
I'll just also throw it in there because it's like almost very... this speech has been based around pain medication, aka endone, that sort of shit. Valium was also a massive problem, yeah.
Yeah, benzos,
Yeah.
like Valium are bad. They're really bad. When they're in your system, they're actually worse to get out of the system and fuck off, all the feelings and whatnot from that rather than opiates. And, I wasn't just on Oxycontin, endone, like short-acting pain meds. I was on both long-acting for a long period of time, and then I complained about that not working for a fair chunk in the end.
Yeah.
They threw me on methadone, and I was on methadone for a fair, I think it might have been a year or 2 years, maybe even 3, and in the end there that I was on that, and I got up to 145 milligrams of that, and that's like potent as, and that rinsed out of my system quicker than the Valium did, and but I was on a high intake of Valium. Like I'd take anything to 10, 15, 20 pills at a time of Valium with that
Huge.
opiate.
We're talking about endone and stuff and how easy it is to get, but Valium is even easy. Valium is even easier. Like, all you have to do is go to the doctor and say, "Oh, I'm not sleeping too well at night," and they're like, "Have some Valium."
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fucked.
It's great for you. Have some,
Yeah.
you will sleep. But it's like, you'll be fucked in 10 years too.
Yeah,
But
I
they
remember.
won't tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then you throw a decent reason to be in the doctor's office at hand on top of that, which I always had.
Yeah.
That's why I was in these shitty situations. They kind of fold a little bit easier, and they go, well, there's a reason for it. But yeah, it works that way and the other way. But it's just it's a weird fucking system. It's all fucked. The whole system is twisted and fucked. And
It's backwards.
if you can take any advice from me, is just don't get in the fucking twist of it. Anyone out there listening, just don't fucking get into it because it's fucking putrid.
And I think there's a very miscued thing too on like health, if you will, because like I'm a huge believer in things like surgeons and people that can like motherfucking put a hand back on. That shit's brilliant.
They're gold.
Fuck yeah.
They're not.
Sick. But
I guess it's hard. to say,
doctors and they're prescribing shit to just, and there are, when you do your research, like there are other options. Natural remedies, herbal shits. Fucking.
But that's the thing.
There's just so many options, and they're all very like blacklisted. But why? We know the one that we're using like is fucked. It's shit. It's killing people. It's fucking them up. All right, we've tried this for a bit. Why don't we just start using fucking? I might get this fucking podcast banned. A bit of vitamin E and a bit of vitamin D, because apparently that shit's getting like, it's forbidden to even talk about that shit now.
Yeah.
Why? Like that shit comes from the fucking sun.
We've been exposed to it for years.
It's good for us. It's not an overconsumption. Bad. Anything too much is bad. But like, and that the fact that like that shit's starting to come out, and if you talk about things that are got to do with vitamin C and vitamin D and that, they're getting like shunned, like false news. No, man.
They're not making money off the sun.
Exactly, dude. You can't
Right.
tax the fucking sun. You can't tax tree like that. It's all for the fucking money, and it's like at the end of the day, the fucking answer to all our fucking problems comes out the dirt and from the fucking sky. Like it's all just stop it. Like fucking relax a little bit. But
Yeah, that's like, I think where you're going with that to begin with is with.
I don't know where I was going. I guess we get lost, especially in these crazy fucking times.
In there with these crazy
and
times,
it's fucking right there, man. It is. It's right there. People it's so fucking terrifying to actually look at it.
Yeah, but there was a point I wanted to touch back on what you said before about surgeons and that. I can kind of vouch for surgeons. Like, they're kind of they're helping, they're doing the thing.
Fuck yeah.
They're repairing people. They got the good side. And yeah, they do send you away from hospitals with your pain meds afterwards. But they've got, and they say to you, they state like for the 6 weeks, if you need it.
Yeah, like
that's
they're
all you
almost
take it for.
obvious
So
ones.
the
Yeah.
GPs, the ones that take it. Like
it's
the orthopedic
GP.
surgeons.
my
Fuck
experiences
a
with
GP.
crashing and
Yeah.
injuries and stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
how it's been. My
Orthopedic
surgeon's been a real
surgeons.
hard ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
And he gives me the bare minimum and all that shit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
when I have the GP.
And then that's what everyone
And
runs
he goes,
to
"Oh,
the
I heard you
GP.
broke your
I
leg.
need more
Yeah,
pills.
I heard you broke your leg. Fucking
Yeah.
here you
And
go."
a lot of the GPs that you deal with outside of the hospitals, they've got no idea.
Most of them are next to the chemist too.
Yeah.
And I think they own them.
Yeah, definitely. But they've got also no idea about the body and what they're dealing with. So they just go, "Oh, what, you're in pain? Okay, here are the meds." Not like what kind of pain, where is
Yeah,
it?
why
is it stemming?
why do you have this
they
pain?
They don't know. They're
They're just numbing it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they just get their fucking doctor's ticket and certificates from fucking who knows what, but it seems to be simple to get because it's a lot of doctors don't know what they're dealing with, and it's
Even
dangerous
when
as
you can
fuck.
prove it
When
and they're
you've
like,
got-
ask them and put them on the spot and they backtrack and be
Well,
like,
it's-
why can't you answer me
when
these simple
problems are
questions?
happening to you, it's a bit hard for someone to argue against that or whatever, like that. You're feeling what's going on, so you can tell someone like, "Oh, this is what I'm feeling, this is what's happening," and they can look at you like you're a fucking absolute idiot, and you're not, they are basically, but it's so hard. Like you're trying to trust these people, and you should be able to trust these people, but it's just like Russian roulette.
Yeah, well, that's it. I had an experience with that too, where I broke my leg and they called an ambulance, right? Because it was pretty loud, pretty obvious. My leg was pointing a different way.
Yeah.
Someone's going, his leg's broken. They've called an ambulance. Hopped in the ambulance. I said, I've got private health. And they didn't give a fuck. They took me straight to the closest hospital, which was a public hospital.
Yep.
And it was the same thing. There was a GP doctor there in the emergency thing. It was at night time. And they've x-rayed me. And I'd already had a few surgeries by this point, all by the same surgeon who does a lot of motocross races.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, can I get the x-rays? And the nurse was nice enough to give me my x-rays. Emailed them to my doctor. He must have been doing fuck all because it was night time. And he rang me.
Yep.
And I was on the phone to him. The GP doctor from the hospital came in and said, we just got to put a cast on 6 weeks. You'll be good to go. We just need to straighten it up. It's a bit dislocated. And I had my surgeon on loudspeaker. He heard this and said, can I please talk to it? He said, I'm such and such. You're a fucking idiot.
Yep.
Bullshit.
He called him out and said, you're a fucking idiot. He needs to be plated up. Yeah. And he knows my background as well. Knows I'm going to be racing. Knows.
Yep.
And so this doctor treated me as if I was going to be like
Just a normal person.
Just a
Just
normal
be
person.
a robot for the rest of your life, man.
Yeah, like you don't need to run. You don't need. And I think I was like 18 at the
And
time.
that's the thing they
Like
don't
even if I
ask.
wasn't a motocrosser or an into extreme sports,
Yep.
I'm still going to be doing fucking something.
Yep.
And I was clearly going like not a behind the desk worker. You can see that by fucking looking at me. I'm not sitting behind a desk.
Yep.
Like, you can tell by someone's hands. They're fucking calloused up and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like.
Yep.
Even if I was just a normal tradie, I would have been fucked for the rest of my life because this
100%.
surgeon said, "You just put a cast on it for 6 weeks and you'll be fine."
That's just straight proof that firstly they know fuck all and don't give a fuck.
They don't ask questions to give a fuck. Like
Nah.
they're in too much of a rush to get to the next fucking,
Yeah.
surgery or.
And my surgeon was just called him like, "You're
That's
a
mad.
fucking idiot."
Yeah, that's
so it
fucking
needs to be
mad.
more of that.
And that was my first wake up call to it. There's a bit more to this,
Yeah.
and that took my trust out of a lot of things.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And that's why I'm stuck with a fucking finger like this for that reason, because I was up in the country.
Yeah.
And then I had to, and it went too long, and it was a broken bone,
So
but
you
it was more
So you broke it up away somewhere.
broke it up on the up on the Mo River.
Yep.
They x-rayed it. It's a broken bone,
Yep.
and that's all they did. They x-rayed it. They put in a splint, went in the splint, and this is when I should have followed up.
Yep.
Because I got out of the splint, and I went, and it was straight because it was in the splint,
Yep.
and I went like that, and it never came back up. And I'm like,
Yep.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Right.
I was like, I need to see someone about this. And the tendon was fucked. There was no tendon.
They
Right.
would have snapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it didn't hurt when I moved it, but the tendon was already gone. But because I had the tendon on the inside,
Yep.
it was happy to go down.
Yep.
And there was no tendon on the outside for it to go back up. So the whole
Right.
time it was in the splint, this tendon was fucked, and the bone was rubbing against it.
Yeah.
And so it rubbed through the tendon, and now I'm stuck with a finger like that. And the only thing they can do is chop it off or do another surgery. Like, I had a couple surgeries on them trying to fix it. And they got to take a bit out of my hamstring to put it in there.
No shit.
And there's a chance that it won't take.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Had it done.
and and there was a chance. They said
that.
there's a chance that it won't take. And then the surgeon that does all my other stuff, he said I wouldn't chop it off either. He goes, a lot of strength comes from there, and you can still make a fist. And he goes, you'll be surprised, and because he knew I rode motorbikes, that a lot of your strength comes from those two fingers, not you think is going to be stronger.
Yeah, right.
And he said, next time you hold a hammer, swing it with just holding those two fingers, and then swing it holding those two fingers, and it'll fucking fly to your hand if you hold it.
Out. Well, that's why you can brake. Use your clutch and use your front brake with those two fingers, or one or that one.
Yeah.
And still ride.
And you still hold on. That's all your powers from there.
Yeah,
that's your grip strength.
Yeah,
So
right.
he said, don't chop it off. So then now I'm just stuck with a fucking...
Does it get in the way and shit, or?
Oh,
Or
well,
is it
when I
getting
shake
glove
people's
on?
hands, sometimes
Yeah.
it scratches them on the way through or gets stuck. But I think we're past shaking hands anyway. I don't think people ever shake hands again. Like,
Well, that
Yeah,
no shit.
I was
No,
thinking that before, man.
I don't think. I think like I can see that happening, but that's some bullshit, man.
Yeah,
Like
it's fucking shit.
I reckon we
I'm
should
way
just all
against
go out and fucking make it. Like, man,
yeah. But
I
yeah,
don't
when
know.
I was shaking people, I got to come in real wide, and sometimes I forget I got to come in like that.
It's like
Swing
a
it.
flight.
down a little bit. Oh, I got it. Yeah.
Well, sometimes I
Get in
forget.
the way when you're putting your moto glove on, though. Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd
so
be shit.
so when I first got back into riding, after it was probably one of my worst injuries, and it's a fucking pinky finger.
Yeah.
Like, and I broke my leg real good that I was off for 12 months.
Yep.
And this finger gave me more fucking shit because it'd be right, and I'd go ride, and I
Tweak
couldn't,
it.
but not even tweak it. I'd be riding, and I wouldn't even be on a technical part of the track. I got back in for Fink,
Yep.
and it was the only Fink I ever DNF'd because I couldn't finish it, and it was my issue, not the bikes, not anything like that. And I was riding along, and my hand would just blow off the bars.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing I could do about it, and I had surgery again after that to try and fix it, and that's when they bring it in a bit, and he kind of made it to the grip.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I
Sick.
took in a set of handlebars, and I was like, I need to hang on to this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Pretty
And he
tight.
goes, you're not be riding motorbikes the rest of your life, and I was like, I'd like to.
Yeah. Yes, I am, doctor.
Definitely.
Fuck
And
what
so,
you think.
so that's how we made that happen, and it's been good since then. But it was a lot of rehab and stuff. I don't know where I was going with that story, but
Just yeah,
yeah.
it's just very interesting. The whole
It is. It
Yeah.
is. Injuries and things.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
But yeah, oh yeah, with the glove.
That's right.
Yeah, and so I used to chop the pinky off the glove.
Oh yeah, clean off.
Yeah,
Just have
clean
open
off.
just
knuckle.
not running.
But yeah, and I did it that long ago. It was before they bring out the thinner gloves like fist and all that. And they bring,
Yep.
and so I can get into those gloves.
Yep.
Yeah, but before I had that last surgery that kind of molded it to the handlebar,
Yep.
it was a bit more fucked up, and that's when I couldn't get it into the glove at all, and that's when I chopped the pinky
Yep.
off the gloves.
True.
Yeah, man.
But it was good because I got 3 younger brothers. They never stole my gloves again.
Yeah,
They always stealing gear and shit like that. They never stole me gloves because the fucking pinky was missing.
Yeah, sick.
I got a fucking problem like that now with my left foot, with me boots, Tech 10s. I can't wear them for any longer than like 15 minutes because my left foot, it widens when you Liz Frank fracture something. So
Yeah.
it goes long ways in the foot. And yeah, my foot widened a bit, and now it's solid bone in there, especially with the fusion. Any pressure is just gnarly, and a Tech 10 ain't wide enough. So hopefully there's boots out there that I can kind of try on.
Maybe you can run like the Tech 10 without the booty in one side.
Yeah,
That'd be
kinda need
uncomfortable,
that.
but-
Yeah, it's super uncomfortable. But that's the thing. I need an internal booty that comes out. Otherwise, I can't put the whole boot on because my toes don't bend because they're fused shut. They don't bend back like hyper, and you need them.
Ah, fuck
You
yeah.
need them to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I literally
Your foot goes
can't get
into
my
your
foot
shoe
in.
and goes doink.
Yeah.
It's crazy how
stays
much
there.
your toes roll into your foot.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
enter it. It's like he goes into things and just goes, "Poof, I can't put my foot in it.
And because I've got no
Yeah.
control, like they've cut each tendon, like there's nothing there. So
Yeah.
They just won't work. It's fucking so annoying. I just want to grab them, but you can't get your hand in there.
Here I am sucking about my fucking pinky finger.
Oh no, hey man, when your body
It's all the same
when your body
shit.
changes
Don't
though,
put
man, it
boots
doesn't
in.
matter how bad
Yeah,
it is. It's a
It's
fucking
fucked.
shit situation.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Fuck,
Long
what a
shit.
wild ride.
Yeah, man.
Get right, mate, as they said. Get crusty demons.
Oh, yeah, but
they
in
said.
saying all that, I wouldn't fucking change it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Nah,
And that might sound stupid after all the drug shit but I still was doing my thing, like, and I was making moves in the riding side of things, I guess. So
yeah,
I don't know what I was saying there.
you wouldn't change it for the fucking world.
That's right, wouldn't fucking change it.
Nah.
Basically, end of the day,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Life's short, man.
Yeah.
It can be shortened at any fucking time.
Yeah.
Stop.
You may as well fucking have fun while you can.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's sort of what we always sort of did. Stayed true, did what we always fucking frothed.
Definitely.
Still do.
And I guess now it's only proving in these times of the world that we're doing what we do, and we do it because we're happy, and that's kind of like, we can see that now with shit going on. It's like, people aren't fucking happy, but hey, I am. And it's still all this shit's going on in the world and happening to me too, and it's like, why isn't everyone else dealing with it like me? But, you know, they probably don't know what their fucking joy is. So, find it, people.
Yeah, that's
Enjoy
it.
yourself.
They wake up at fucking 8 o'clock to go to work at 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
man.
Get home at fucking 6 o'clock.
Yep.
Have dinner. Watch TV.
There's just
Yep,
no
that's
other
right.
way of life.
Yeah.
Like they don't, and you know, like you even look at it from the way we, you know, we're all kids. We all went to the skate park. That's where we got our thrills from.
Yeah.
And then suddenly everyone turned 18 and started getting fucked up. That's where we got our thrills from.
Yeah.
Now we're stuck in this terrible fucking loop of
Not
just
allowed to
getting
do any of
fucked
that.
up on the weekends. And you know, like that's where everyone gets their thrills from. That's not where you get your thrills from, man. You got to go out there and do.
That's
shit.
not living.
Yeah, those far.
They
from
think
living.
it's living. It's
Yeah.
not living.
Sculling fucking shit out of your shoe. That's not fucking living. You can't get in your fucking car, drive for like 10 hours.
You got to do something to deserve
Yeah.
to fucking scull the drink out of your
Yeah,
shoe.
like it's just, I don't know, man. People have got shit very, and you know, like I'm not gonna sit here and say fucking my life's fucking perfect and I know what's going on. Fuck no, I don't. But I know how to fucking feel good.
Yeah.
And I know how to chase that feeling, and I know that it's pure.
At the end of the
Like,
day,
it's
that's
pure,
all.
man.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah,
I
that-
think, like, isn't it like, fuck? There's not much more to life than if you're happy and you're fucking loving it. Well, then keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's all about. Like,
Fucking oath.
Because we don't really know what it's about, to be honest.
yeah, we're finding our way. The
It's
whole
all
way.
about experience, and it's like if you're not actually getting experience in the matrix of experience, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's right.
What are you doing? Like that's
Yeah, what are you doing?
yeah,
You're going to be
that's-
sitting in a nursing
that's-
home thinking back to your life.
Oh,
where you got-
well, fuck
there's
this
no
one, didn't I?
fucking highlights.
Yep. And I shoulda.
It's work and, like you said, fucking on the weekend.
That's you can't remember anyway because you got fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's not like you don't have good times on the way. It's all bullshit. You go up, and the funniest
And they
thing
can't
is,
remember
man,
it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
makes sense.
You go to work
Bullshit.
on Monday and there's a dude there. Oh, dude, I got so fucked up on the weekend. It was sick. What'd you... I can't remember. I can't even fucking
it
remember
was
it.
sick as fuck, man.
I just told you I got fucked
was
up.
it? Or
What do you mean you can't remember it?
had some D&Ms with fucking a few of the boys, and then fucking old mate fucking over here sculled a beer, and we all cheered. It was the fucking
But then at the
hardcorest
end of
night
it all,
ever.
we
It's
ended
like,
up
no, it
punching
wasn't,
on.
man.
It's-
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
and
they
then
all
we
fight
all-
each other.
We
It's
all
like,
ended up punching on, and we don't really know where we stand with each other now, so it's
Yeah.
kind of weird.
Yeah, but come Friday, we'll all love each other again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
we'll
yeah.
go,
Time to
we'll,
drink
we'll
again.
do it again.
yeah, man,
weird
that's
shit.
some crazy ass shit. But
Weird
I mean, look,
shit.
each to their own. If that's what you find
Yeah, if they like it.
fun and entertaining, that's cool. I like to do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's
Well, that's like I didn't leave the skate park.
Mm.
Like that was
Yeah.
that was me, man. Like when we
Yeah.
got to that, I was younger than the kids I grew up with anyway,
Yep.
because I was born early Jan.
Yep.
So I was the youngest in the year level and all that shit.
Yep.
And they all started going out. I was still at skate. I didn't start going out until I broke my leg and couldn't be at the skate park.
Yep.
And that's what started it. And that's when I started drinking and whatnot. But it didn't last long, man. As soon as my leg was fixed and I started riding again, I was like, this is fucking way funner than that shit. And hey, don't get me
'Cause,
wrong,
like,
I
you-
still
you-
went out
You're
and
pretty like straighty 180, aren't you?
yeah. Like
Yeah.
like I've never. Like, other than the pharmaceutical shit they give, which is probably worse than
Fuck
this shit.
yeah.
Proving my point.
Yeah. Bad man. It's like, no, I've done no drugs apart from everything the pharmaceuticals give me.
And everything the doctor gave me, it's fucking
But yeah.
way worse than all the other shit. But I don't know, man. It just didn't interest me. I liked having my helmet on, man.
Yeah.
That's what my life was.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that shit. I liked going real fast. That's why I think when Fink came around, I enjoyed that shit more than motocross. I think that's why I succeeded in it more.
Yeah.
I never trained for motocross, man.
Yeah, right.
And I think if people are going to hear that and fucking probably be pissed off because I won Australian championships and shit like that, but I didn't train, man. I had fun.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's probably what started the freestyle thing too, because like I do heel clickers
That's
and shit on
also
the
what
motocross
pushes
track.
you to the front too.
Yeah.
Like there's not pressure.
I wasn't burning myself out.
Yeah, you were there to like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking win this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it with a smile on my face.
But
And,
yeah,
like,
it wasn't. I didn't start training properly until Fink. I did Fink once without training, and the
With
first
Brotherhood?
fucking 40 kilometers of it were fucking fun. And then it
race
turned
was just
into a
like-
hell.
Yeah. Fuck, man, that's
but-
gnarly shit.
That's usually where that story goes on most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember finishing that race, and it was a bit emotional because I got through it,
Yeah.
and it was
Like there was points in it where you didn't think you would, huh?
Nah, that's it. And then I was like, dude, I want to win this race. So the next year I got third,
Yep.
and then I was like, obviously I didn't do enough. And then the year after that I won.
Yeah, nice.
And then if I finished it, I won. That was it. If I finished the race, I won. There was 2 years I didn't finish it, mechanical, and then that injury I had with my finger.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only time I really trained until it came to freestyle.
Yep.
And that was a similar thing, man. Like I met you up at Eka,
Yeah.
and I wasn't even sure about freestyle then.
Yeah.
I just happened to meet Michael Zerb through racing.
Yeah.
He said I got a ramp at my house, and then Sam drives monster trucks. He was at Eka.
Yep.
And he said, "Oh, we should get quads there because it's something different."
Yep.
And I met all you guys there. I met all the freestyle kings and all that shit. And
Yeah.
and even then, I was still like, I met a couple of them. I was like, dude, I don't know if I want to get into this scene.
Yeah.
And then you came along and you're like, dude, this is fucking sick. You're on 4 wheels, fucking different. And I was like your positivity made, it was like one of the things that I was like, I think I want to do freestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I always, I mean, I'm not going to get too deep into those guys, but like, there's too cool for school and there's too cool for school. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they're fucking too cool for school. And cool, man. You go hang out over there with your cool guys. But
Yeah.
like, I know it was just something that to me, like, I just like fucking entertainment. And
Yeah.
it's like, if you're giving it a crack on that, like, what's the fucking difference? Like, obviously there's a massive difference. One has 2 wheels, one has 4 wheels.
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a huge difference. But like that
And you look at it
comes
like
into
that, but it's all entertainment.
and yeah, exactly.
Dude, when you're doing
can look at
freestyle motocross shows,
Yeah.
there's no, like, once the Crusty Demons finished, man,
Oh.
it wasn't about being, like, you're there to entertain.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to do freestyle and be core and do all that shit, you got to do that shit in your backyard.
Yeah.
That's just not happening at freestyle shows because
No.
you're there to entertain.
Yeah.
And the people that the promoters want you to entertain are fucking kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't care if you're core or have fucking spikes on your body armor or fucking all blacked out, all that shit. They don't give a fuck. They don't know the difference between a ruler flip and a fucking
No.
backflip.
No.
A backflip's a backflip.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
And like, yeah, you're there to entertain. Like, you do core shit. Do that in your backyard.
That's right.
I
Exactly.
don't want to go on a freestyle around there, but that's what I found. And then when people hang shit on me, like if we do shows to an airbag, hey, we're trying to get the money. We bought that airbag so we could do shows for other people, and I started flipping to it, and I still didn't get shows for other people.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, and then a video went out, a promoter saw it,
Yep.
and that's how the freestyle shows for all 4FMX started to the airbag.
Yeah,
and
right,
we're
yeah,
trying to get money to build a down ramp or to get a down ramp or something like that so we can do shows like that because no fucking people will have a quad in their show. And I don't know if it's more expensive for one because me and Harry are the only 2 fucking dudes doing it in Australia.
Yep.
And
And you're probably
No
not going to
damage, mow
bitch
down,
down and go, yeah, no, I'll do it for cheap because I'm a little bitch and want to be part of a crew.
yeah.
And-
yeah.
Because that happens a lot, Oh, yeah, I'll ride for you for nothing.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. No, why? If you're going to ride for nothing, stay the fuck in your backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it for the gram, bro.
That's,
Yeah.
that's where the sport's fucked.
Because,
Like,
like,
that's-
you sell it like the
Well,
fact
and
that-
even when I got into quad freestyle and it went on, like I think Instagram was just fucking happening then.
Fully, yeah.
There was a few dudes that reached out that were ATV freestyle dudes, a couple in America, a couple in Europe and whatnot.
Yep.
Messaged me and said, yo, we ain't doing what the fucking 2-wheelers did. Because, like, Cam Sinks used to make 10 grand a fucking night doing double flips.
Yeah.
I don't think Harry Bink's getting that.
No way.
Not a chance.
No.
So,
I
he-
heard
they-
someone that was doing double flips in one of the recent shows. I'm not going to say anything and names and whatnot, but I heard that someone's doing double flip for $1,500. in a viewed show. Like,
Yeah,
what
that's
the fuck?
fucked.
What the fuck are you
That's-
doing to the industry, man,
that's
and the
so
sport?
bad.
If we're trying to keep it up when you're doing such a trick like that for such a low cost, like
Yeah.
that's fucking bullshit, man.
And it's fucked.
Sorry to put that in. I couldn't let.
Yeah, no. That's right. Like, and so these quad freestylers, there's fucking 10 of us max around the world.
Fully, yeah.
Messaged me and said that we're not going down the 2-wheeler path. Like, this is the prices we run. Like, they were
Yeah.
nice enough to give me the prices,
Yeah,
and I've stuck by it. And
Yeah.
maybe that's why I don't get any shows.
Yep.
And there's probably other parts too where they probably are threatened as well because it's something different. The
Oh,
2-wheeler
fuck
freestyle's
yeah.
been around for a fucking long time. You throw something different in the mix, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I find it easier to get shows off promoters than I do off fucking other dudes. Like I've had freestyle
Actually,
teams.
riding in a show is harder. It's harder for you to get a gig riding a show than it
Than
is
it's
to
to-
have your own show.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
And I've had dudes that own freestyle teams and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Go, yeah, dude, we'd love to have a quad in the show and shit like that. And the first one, I was all excited, man. The first guy to tell me, oh, fuck yeah, man, I'm going to get gigs. I don't have to put fucking stickers up anymore. I'm going to be full-time freestyle. And fucking, you don't hear boo from him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck this. And that's why we started doing it on our own. Yeah.
What do you reckon that's the reason for that is? Like, promoters just saying that and then going, yeah, actually, no. Do you reckon they turn around and think about it and go, fuck, he rides a quad, it's heaps bigger, it could damage my shit way easier? Or do you think they just get excited and say it and then
They'd
forget
just be
about it?
buttering it up like most cunts. They're all
Yeah.
butterers. Most promoters. are
Yeah,
like,
It's not that, like, the promoters... Well, promoters can be fucking slimy as they fucking...
Oh, yeah.
As they fucking come. But it was the freestyle team owners that would be like, dude, yeah, we wanted you in our show and all that shit. And then they wouldn't... And I don't know if it was the price or... I thought more so that it was a threat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the fact that if the crowd or if they're... So, obviously, the guys that own freestyle shows, they're not putting on their own... I mean, own the freestyle trucks. They're not putting on their own shows. They're working for someone else, right? So
Yes.
they're getting paid to go to a show to put on a demo.
Yep.
Now, if I rock up to that demo and say I'm X amount, and then the promoter there goes, that quad was fucking cool, we want more of that next year, they're gonna be like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like they're too core to want to ride a quad to start with,
Yep.
Yep.
and then now they got to hire Harry as well, and
Yep.
he's expensive,
Yep.
and now all of a sudden they got to, like, they can put their prices up by all means, like we do.
Yep.
We probably are more expensive
100%, man.
than a lot of people, but we're something different.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
Yep. People have got to stand by a bit more of a price thing for sure.
Yeah, and like you said, like I understand too where people, like, if someone did a trick that they don't normally do in a show and their price was the same, they might have got amped up because it was a good vibe. Like, I've been in shows where it's fucking, you're vibing, the adrenaline's up, and you're like, fuck it, and you do the one-off trick or whatever, and that happens from time to time. But if you're signing a contract saying you're going to do this at the show and it's fuck all, like, that's fucked.
Like, that's your own account to be like, you know,
That's
I'm
exactly
hyped. And
Yeah.
I'm giving these cunts because I feel it. I've got it.
It's
and
happened,
I'm
man.
going to do it now.
Yeah.
This is it. Right, fuck yeah, super flip. You cunts didn't tell me to do a super flip, but I fucking did
Yeah,
one, and I
yeah.
don't care because that was for me.
Yeah.
But next time, when I come and do a super flip, it's going to cost this much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like,
it.
That's the. But it's like,
And
oh
that's,
well,
I
we
think,
charged you this much last time. You can well fuck off. You don't have me. But that's where people
Yeah.
just go, oh, I want to be a fucking.
And I think
One of them.
that's where it's easy, like, where people go, as riders go, oh, yeah, I'm just going to take that show and do it for that. Yeah, I'll do it for fucking $200 or $300, $400, $500, $800, whatever it is. But they say that because they think that, oh, fuck, I got to do it because it's a show. It's an opportunity. I'm going to make it big from
And
this
it'll keep
show.
coming, it'll
It's
keep
like,
coming.
man, you're not,
Yeah,
for one,
yeah.
you're not going to get a magazine shoot for it. You're not going to be seen. You're not going to be this. You're not going to be that. You're just a number, and it's
Nobody
as simple
cares.
as that. It's basically...
Nobody gives a fuck.
And so if you feel you've got the pull to a promoter to say, oh, I'm worth more, that fucking do it. Don't hide behind like, oh yeah, no, like they need you, man. Like, the show ain't going to go on if you ain't there. If you stand your fucking ground and go, no, I'm not riding it for that, like, do it because
Yeah.
you can. And if you figure that out along your way, well, fucking change your ways along the way, because that's what I did. I figured it out pretty quick, you know, especially overseas and stuff. Like, fuck, one time overseas coming back, I knew I was going to ask more the next time round.
Yeah.
But I knew what could come of that. I'll just get replaced because I'm just a number. And,
Yeah.
But my bike's over there, so I was like, well, fuck this. I've pre-thought it. Took my CDI box off my bike and my mate's bike, so they couldn't ride it and replace us and just put someone else on my bike.
Yeah.
So I had my CDI box, went back, next trip come around, I want more. Well, you can't get more. Well, I fucking need it, blah, 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 I want it. And I ended up getting it because, you know, I did those things and thought about it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely be aware. We just lost another camera.
Yeah, but they're also rolling.
One beep. It might have started another
I
clip.
think it did. I think it has.
I don't know how cameras work, man. I don't know how any of this
it
shit
has.
works.
It has.
Started back to 0 again, huh?
Yeah.
Weird shit.
But yeah, just stand your ground, people, up and comers,
Yeah.
riders.
Well, there's another story. I was doing a show when I first got into it, before we started doing our own shows. I did do a show for someone, and I won't name names again, but one of the two of the riders asked me how much I was getting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And this was back when I thought everyone was friends and shit. And I told him, and he was doing seat grab flips, and I wasn't even flipping then.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even good at freestyle. I wasn't even doing big fucking tricks. That was like not even 12 months into it.
Yeah.
It wasn't long after Eka.
Yeah.
And I was getting paid $300 more than he was, and he was doing seat grab flips.
That's fucked. And you're on a quad.
Yeah,
which
but I
is
was on a-
technically
it's-
probably a little bit safer.
You can look
Well,
at
when you
that.
fuck up, you're fucked.
You can look at that.
Yeah,
completely
it-
with
it's-
both
yeah.
sides
That's
there.
a very, very fence thing to look at that.
Yeah.
Now that I've looked at that, because
Yeah.
if you fuck up on a quad, you're really fucked up.
Yeah, there's advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah, I
if
think
if
so.
we knuckle, we got way less ground clearance and smaller wheels.
Yeah.
So if we knuckle, you're kind of guaranteed to go over the bars.
Yeah.
So that's a disadvantage.
Yeah.
But an advantage is we don't have spokes. So when you have a crosswind, we don't get this.
Yeah.
We don't go. So we just move a little bit. It doesn't really affect us.
Yeah.
So we can ride in higher winds, which
Yeah.
I think we've pissed people off doing that too.
Because you can just go, yeah, man, we'll jump out, we'll ride, and they're like, I'm not riding it.
Yeah, we've jumped in wind, and
Yeah.
it was the same thing. I think it was at the same show where this guy asked me. It was windy,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, it's windy, rah rah rah," and I was like, "So big fucking deal."
Yeah.
And this was back when I was still racing.
Yeah.
So you race
In the wind.
in the fucking rain, wind, whatever.
All of it. Yeah.
And so I was just like, rah, jumped it, landed on the downy perfect. I was like, I didn't feel it at all.
Yeah, fuck.
And I think I might have pissed people off doing that too, but I didn't know how to fucking explain it to people.
Yeah. Yeah, well, fuck. It's part of the game, you're learning.
Yeah.
You see what goes on once you really get into it.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
like, that's almost the worst thing, you know, like, as they almost say, like, never meet your idols.
Nah.
And it is sort of like, even the game, you know, like,
Don't get me wrong, like
it's fucking awesome.
there's fucking heaps of sick cunts.
Yeah, yeah.
They're all like, you know,
Yeah,
there's a lot of good
yeah,
dudes,
there's
man.
a
Like there's a
fuck ton.
fucking, you know,
No
Yeah.
doubt,
heaps
but
of good dudes in there, but you know,
but
there's-
it does come to almost, you know, there is that little bit of like, it's not.
yeah, you find those certain ones out that you might not be lucky enough to know well, and that, and then you figure out that they are douches, and you've kind of like watched them and idolized off them and that, and then it's just like, oh man, fuck, you're a dick.
Yeah.
That majority of like fucking cool dudes.
There's a fuck ton of like really, really good motherfuckers
and
in
big,
the industry.
you know, big name dudes, and they're pretty
Yeah.
fucking normal, down to earth people. They're just fucking normal dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found that too. When I first got into it, I'd ask people how to do tricks because I had no fucking idea. I was a racer.
Yep.
Yep.
And they'd openly tell me, and you wouldn't get that in the racing world. The racing world was like, hey, how you doing that? It's like, fuck off, man. That's my one advantage over you.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, at the start, a lot of people, I'd be like, oh, how do you do seat grabs and shit? And they're like, oh, I don't know how to work on your quad, but this is how I do it. And when I first started flipping, there was a rider that said, and if he didn't tell me how to do flip tricks, like, I said, oh, I want to do a flip trick. I think I did knack flips pretty early, but they're easy on a quad. Like, knacks are one of the easiest tricks on a quad, because quad doesn't fucking move.
Yeah.
You can swing off the fucking thing.
Yeah.
So I was doing knack flips pretty early on, and then I wanted to do heel clicker flips. And if he didn't give me the tip he gave me, I would have fucking crashed
Knuckled yourself.
hard. and like, it was into the airbag too, but like, you can still hurt yourself.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I reckon I would have landed, like, I would have bananaed off the quad as soon as I left the ramp because I would have tried to throw the heel clicker straight away. And he said, wait a second until you're in the rotation
Then throw.
and then throw the heel clicker.
Yep.
And that was the best advice
Yep.
Yeah.
a freestyler gave me.
Yep.
And like it is good like that. Like, you know,
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of there's a bit of a brotherhood in there, but there's just that when you go to chase that next step, that's where the knives sort of come out.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little bit. It's weird.
Even like, you know, the whole RFD scene, like that
That
was
shit
a
was- yeah, but
big
that was-
fucking
that
underground
was-
scene and movement for the scene.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of competition in that, but
But it was
it
still
wasn't-
friendly.
definitely that's
was
what
like
I'm
it was
saying.
for
That's
everyone,
what I'm
where,
saying.
like,
But you know,
shows
being
start
a
getting a bit-
rider, it never mattered. It was a fucking comp, man. Comp's a comp
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you're
you
there
still
and doing
got-
it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, people I would practice with on the Gold Coast and stuff, and then we'd end up versing each other.
Yeah.
And you know, it's some people take it a lot more serious than others, but fuck, man, like it's, you know, it's still a fun thing, I guess. It's very open in that it could have been way worse. Like being in and amongst, you know, a series as such, being in and amongst a series as such, you'd think, you know, it'd just be don't talk, don't, you know, but there was always fun and games. There was always fucking back and forth by the riders and stuff. Like, it was never just fucking don't talk to me, I'm here to compete, and that's it, shut the fuck off and piss off. It was
There was a
never
lot
really-
of fucking good vibes, especially
A
in
lot.
that underground. Like, that was like,
and that was almost made
You
to
see
be a
that at
party,
the comps
but-
and
yeah.
stuff, like when they were videoed and stuff. You see people get pumped
Yeah.
for another rider and stuff.
Yeah.
You still see it a bit now,
yeah.
but like the comps are gone, man.
All
Oh,
of
yeah.
it's gone, man.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking Aussie scene.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, there's nothing in the world at the moment with what's going on in the world, but
Yeah, but even before that,
outside of that,
yeah.
it's still...
there was no comps and stuff. And you hear people talking about, oh, I'm going to put a comp on and stuff like that.
It's a big job.
Yeah.
Big deal.
man.
Promoting's fucking hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, to make it work, you know, everyone's got that, I'm not going to enter a comp unless it's worth the prize money or whatever. And it's to have that prize money sitting there is like, where do I get fucking $5,000 from to give to a bunch of cunts?
Yeah, but the sponsorships were bigger back in the day too, where they sponsored the event and the prize purse was big.
Yeah.
And now that's gone, and that's gone in the whole industry, not just freestyle.
Yeah.
Like
Aussie motorsports.
worldwide. Like
Yeah.
like if you talk to Chad Reed when he was racing a two-stroke
Yeah.
in like the early 2000s, he was making fucking millions.
Yeah, right.
You talk to like say like Eli Tomac and Ken Roxon now,
Yeah.
they're making a lot less than Chad Reed made back then, but they're training harder. They're
But
putting
then
more work in and
but
stuff.
then
So the
there's new-
sponsorship money's
Yeah, but then you got like people like Monster doing the Monster Cup and doing one race for $1 million. Like,
yeah, but the odds
Like,
aren't in the favour of people to win that. It's only been won twice.
when
or
you
something.
name Villapoto, the odds are well in your
Yeah,
favour.
that's it. Yeah,
Isn't he a monster sponsor?
yeah,
Yeah,
Seems
yeah.
legit.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
Let's
saying.
put a race on that one of our sponsors can win, and then we just give him the money that we were going to give him to sponsor him for the year anyway.
Yeah, definitely. But what I'm saying is there's still money
Fucking-
there to be thrown around.
Yeah.
It's still there. If they want to fucking do it, they can do it, and they should.
yeah.
But it's like, even just, you know, there's less money in it. Like, even just things like, there was a point where brands had money.
Yeah.
And they could be like, fuck, you know, we've made enough of this money that we can give fucking $2,000 and sponsor the event. It's like,
Yeah.
man, what brand do you know that's got spare money?
There was companies
Brands
that had nothing to
can't
do with
even
motorsport with throwing money at motorsport.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like, you know, and so these days it's like no one's. Firstly, those brands are gone because no one cares about it.
Nah.
It's like the people that care about it, and that's
Yeah.
it.
They're not gone, man. MDP's still around.
Oh, it was
Solid as, bro.
Yeah,
That's where we started off.
100%. But you know, I don't know. It's still very. There's just not much out there for it anymore.
No.
No, definitely not.
Something that was.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it's maybe something like this that's happening in the world might change that. On the
Yeah.
other side of it, might
Bring it back,
flip
sort
this
of,
all
yeah.
and make it fucking
Yeah,
something
yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, might all be able to do it again.
Yeah, we get out of
fuck.
lockdown. There's just fucking freestyle ramps on the side of roads everywhere because everyone's just like, "Yeah, we love this." I don't think that's gonna.
That's
happen.
probably never gonna happen, but we can fucking think big as much as we like.
It'd be
But-
cool to see kids in skate parks again.
That's-
Or it'd be cool for the
yeah,
fucking
man.
councils to build skate parks that are actually good to ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like even where I'm living, a new suburb goes in or whatever, a new estate, and they put in this it's got a little
3
grind
ramps.
and it's I'm like, what the
Shitty
fuck?
little
No
park.
wonder the kids are at the shopping centres fucking spray painting your fucking shops.
Yeah.
They got nothing to do. They ride the skate park for an hour and they're bored.
Yeah.
Every new skate park that goes in looks fucking horrific.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And they're fucking a meter big. Like as soon as the kid turns fucking, he's been on his
it's
scooter
all like
for
mini
fucking
ramp shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as the kid's been on his scooter for fucking 4 hours, he don't want to ride that no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking. But I mean, in saying that whole hopefully more cunts go to the skate park and shit, 100%. Because like we went to Kmart the other day, and bro, Kmart was sold out of bikes.
Yeah, true. Because that's the only
That's-
exercise people can do is go fucking
But like,
for a
to
walk
me,
or ride their bikes.
that's like a little
Yeah.
like fuck yeah for the riders.
Yeah.
We've all got bikes. Let's get out there and fucking pop some
Fucking oath,
motos.
but isn't it a strange time for Kmart to
Yeah.
sell out with bikes when you're meant to be at home?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's
it's-
the one rule you're allowed to
I
leave home to
know
get
that,
groceries
I know that.
and exercise, and people are like,
But isn't
I don't
that
want. I'm
crazy?
over walking. I want to ride my bike.
Yeah, fully. But then we were on a fucking pushy ride the other day, and we were cruising through like this park, crossing through, and I don't know what we're doing, but we stopped, look over. Boggs was like, "Yo, have a look in this backyard. There's a dude in this tight backyard, just cutting laps, running laps of his backyard." So man,
This guy lives next to a park.
we were in the park.
We were in
that
a
backs
park.
onto his backyard.
And he's doing laps in his own backyard.
Like I wanted to go over and pop my head over the fence and just go, dude.
Yeah, dude.
You
Come out.
You got a whole
Man.
like even lap the park. It'd be so much more like.
Well, he could have done one lap at the park, and it would have equaled the fucking 60
Well,
laps he did in front of us.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it was just like I don't. Are you that scared?
People are. That's the bad thing.
Yeah.
about this. This is
Like
fucking-
it's fucking crazy.
But it's a weird fucking disease because it affects some people, doesn't affect other people. Some people die and some people aren't. But then,
But does
but
it-
you're getting all your
are
news
they?
from the media. But that's the
Yeah.
thing.
I
I know you
do
guys are not a fan
personally-
of it. You did a
personally don't know
video.
anyone.
I shaved my head because I thought you did.
Fucking hell. No, just trims. I just got a bit of a trim off. But, yeah,
But you were just proving a point to the fucking
the people.
What?
to people. I said my missus said she was scrolling through in the fucking scroll trap. She listens to this. She's probably gonna have a go at me. In the scroll fucking trap, and she's like, "Oh my god, Judge Judy died."
I seen that this morning somewhere.
Yeah. This was today.
Yeah, I seen that.
And-
And the first thing
and
I
this
read
is-
it, I was like, bullshit.
And it made me think of you because she's clicked on it straight away.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she's it wasn't Judge Judy, it was the guy who announced as Judge Judy. And I was like, this is fucking, and I was coming to a podcast with you today, I was like, this is exactly what fucking Seamus is talking about. You clicked on that, and now that media company makes money because you clicked on it. They can go to a fucking agency and say, we got sucking 7 million clicks on this fucking thing. And then they go, oh fuck, that's a lot of traffic, we'll fucking put ads on that.
Yep.
And it's proven
top
your
of
point.
the-
Just clickbait bullshit.
Yeah.
Fucking, and that's what.
And
like,
that's news.
Yeah, and that's social. Like it's, and even just proving that it's like so easy for like, you know, them to go, oh yeah, it's all happening everywhere. Here's some footage,
Yeah.
and like that footage could be from a fucking movie. That like, or like it's not
6
hard
years
to
ago
film
or
some
whatever.
shit.
Yeah.
Like I know that it's not hard to get 4 people in some nurse uniforms in the corner of a room and go, right, I make it look like this.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy. So
Yeah.
to me, it's like until like someone I know is like really fucking sick.
Yeah. And
I
and
don't
it's not even
see
that
it.
bad in Australia, like media wise. We've got, what is there, 4 channels or something, like the major ones that have to compete for views against each other.
Yep.
Imagine in America where they've got fucking hundreds that have to compete against the bullshit they're fucking try and sell to people to get the viewers.
Yeah.
And like and that's another thing too. Like, you know, you got to understand that there's always going to be bullshit from other sides. That it's like, you know, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this. The truth is, we don't know what the fuck anyone's doing.
Yeah.
But like, that's almost the point. To me, it's like this whole thing is like, if you're scared of it, like the best thing is like they're scared of something that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's invisible, so you can't. Who are you to say?
Yeah.
Who are you to say? Well, no one. But no one around here's got it either. Like, no one's actually died. Like, I still, you know, like, don't get me wrong. I still think this is it'll get you. But we've got immunities.
Yeah.
Like, we've grown up in the dirt. I don't get.
Yeah,
I don't
motocross
get
riders
sick.
are fucking right.
I
Yeah,
don't
you're right.
get sick.
Yeah.
Like, because I have a fucking good immune system.
just-
My whole family's like that too, because we grew up at the fucking racetrack. All my brothers. Harry's the only one that gets sick, and it all started when he fucking broke his femur real bad and got airlifted to a hospital. Then he started getting like glandular fevers and all that shit. And it was after his immune system broke down because they put him in the hospital. And they gave him the meds and all that shit. And that took. I reckon he was never sick before that, and that gave him the big hit.
Yeah. And
to his immune system.
And that's like, you know, you hear these people that get their bloody flu shot every fucking whatever. Like, they're the sickest cunts we know. And not the good sick cunt. Like, they're like literally going, God, let's go sniffing the nose and my fucking, I'm whinging because my life fucking sucks. It's because you're getting injected with shit.
Yeah.
Like, and eating shit and fucking, the pills you take are fucking your head up. Like,
yeah.
There's just so much of it that's like in conjunct of it that's like, man, now you sort of see why they are so fucking deep and ignoring of what the fuck's going on.
But the human race will evolve for that to be normal.
Fully.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like the human
the majority.
Yeah,
and that's the scary part, man.
Yeah, we're lucky that we grew up in the dirt and our immune system grew that way.
Yeah.
But the people that are going to be brought up by these people...
Well, babies are getting injected straight away. Like, immune system hasn't even started to grow yet.
Yeah.
And they're coming out and going...
The vaccine argument is a different one. We won't go into who vaccinates their kids.
Nah.
Because that's a fucking war we don't want to start.
Fuck no.
But...
It's because it's too fucking touchy.
Yeah. But like, even if you're vaccinated as a kid, like, I understand where they're coming from and whatnot like that, but... Like, we grew up in the dirt, and as you get older, and our immune system's grown and all that stuff, but these people are going to lock their kids up, and especially now after this...
And rely on these things.
They're going to fucking put their kids in a bubble.
Yep.
And these kids aren't going to know
yep.
what it's like outside.
Yep.
And they're not going to have the shit... we've been exposed to all this stuff, and it's made us stronger.
Yep.
They're not going to... So next time this comes around, and the kids that have been born in, say, 2025... And this comes around again in another 40 years or something.
Yeah.
Another aerial disease or whatever. They're going to be fucked.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the immune systems that fucking we have.
That we have, yeah. But like, yeah, it's so... I don't know, man. It's very
all of this
touches.
is crazy going on.
You know,
it's very hard to talk about all of this shit.
Yeah, we're going to piss people off.
No matter what you say.
Because the same thing... Yeah, go.
Pretty much I was going to ask, what do you reckon's going on with it all? Like, what's your personal look?
My personal opinion of it is... This is my personal opinion. I don't think a bat or a penguin or whatever the fuck was eaten in China and then spread worldwide. Like, I think they were working on something in a lab or something and someone fucked up. Whether they put it out on purpose or accidental, fucking... doesn't affect me because it's out. Yep. But I reckon someone fucked up. It got out, and they didn't want to confess to it, or they didn't have their story planned yet. Because China, China's all talk. Yep. I don't think everyone's like, oh, we should be worried about China. They got this military and all this stuff. I don't think they do.
Yeah.
I don't think they've got the nuclear and all that shit. So I think people tiptoe around China. And I don't think China worked out their story, and then they didn't want to confess to it. So then they had Chinese New Year. All these Chinese people that live all around the world, including here in Melbourne and stuff, went home to visit their families to celebrate Chinese New Year and all that shit. Mm-hmm. All got it, or and then they've brought it back. That's my personal opinion on it.
You're dead right on the whole Chinese military thing, but they do have shit from what I've read.
Yeah, I get that.
But they
army.
can't go up against the US Army. That's their problem. It's nowhere. Their arsenal's nothing like the size of the US, and so that's why they're attacking.
And the US is going to be backed by the Commonwealth and all that shit, which is us, UK, Canada.
So that's why China's going
pretty much
about
everywhere where white people are.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I sort of because I'm just a big believer in like things like immune, like because I've always grown up in the dirt and never really been sick. I don't take myself to the doctors, and I don't fill myself full of pills when I get sick. I just sort of suck it up, sweat it out, and move the fuck on.
Yeah.
And like I said, I rarely get sick. It might just be a sniffle for a week.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm bedridden or like... So like to me, I still don't think like it doesn't okay if it was that first little bit like to me, oh you can almost accept. All right, let's get over this peak thing. Let's flatten the curve.
Yeah,
Right,
I think it's
cool.
there. Like I think it's a real thing.
But but there's healthy people out there.
Yeah, yeah.
At the end of the day, and I'm all for that fucking 1.2. Like, bro, I don't want to be near you anyway.
No.
Let's all stay the
Yeah.
fuck away from each other for a
Yeah,
little bit.
I think it took a weird thing like this to come in for people to start washing their hands. Like,
Well,
what the
and-
fuck
and
are you
that-
doing?
yeah.
Wash your hands.
Karate motherfuckers. All
Oh, I
of
wash my hands so much more now. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? You weren't washing your hands before?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like they're the little things. It's like, yeah, all right, we can do that. But like, it's why punish everybody?
Yeah.
I'm fit. I'm healthy. If I want to go out and I think I can do that, if I get sick, I will take it upon myself to be like, I'm fucked up. I'm staying inside. I'm fucked up. I don't want to do anything anyway. I'm sick.
Or I
Who
Nah,
wants-
but people aren't like that, man. Like they fuck. If
Yeah, I
people
know.
like even like every year, so many people die from the flu, and everyone gets the flu, right?
Mm.
The people who get the flu still go out and fucking contaminate everyone.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like they
Definitely,
don't
because
stay
It's
home.
like selfish. Yeah. They're
Yeah.
like, well, I'm not missing out.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
stay
But
home.
that's on an everyday.
How many times have you been fucking somewhere and someone's in the fucking corner coughing and what the fuck's wrong with you? Oh, I think I got the flu. Why the fuck are you at my house? Like,
Yep.
why'd you come over for
Yep.
dinner? You got the flu.
But I
Yeah.
bet you if the media was telling them 2 days prior to them going to your house that it could potentially kill them or the people they surround themselves with, they wouldn't fucking go anywhere because they're shitting themselves.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
It's just because, like it's a common flu. Oh, it's okay. But hang on a minute, you fucking idiots. This common flu is killing way more people than the actual
New
virus
one.
you're worried about.
Yeah, yeah. And then
you should be worried about, like, it's what? Like, it's so many ups
Yeah.
and downs. So it's fucking
And that's it.
twisted.
And same with going to work. Like, none of us have had real jobs for a while.
Yeah.
But, like, when you're in the workplace and shit like that, how many people fucking come to work and they're sick?
Yeah.
Mm.
Like,
That's
you got
selfish
sick leave
as.
for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason you get
That's
paid.
true. And like, I mean, I come to think of it, I've probably been in positions where I have been like, oh, I'm sick and I'm going to work. Like,
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
that, I got to work.
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't, I guess you don't look at it in the sense of infecting anyone else, because at the end of the day, I don't think any of us have ever had a cold and killed someone with it.
No. Where
Well,
you
you
could
don't
probably,
know that.
you could,
Well, like you
Yeah.
say, you don't know that. You might have walked past Nana in the
We
supermarket.
could be
and
fucking
she could have-
murderers, man. I could be a cold murderer.
Oh, I find that very hard to
Getting everyone
believe.
sick.
I find that
I'm
hard
not saying
to believe.
I hardly
You know,
get
like,
sick,
and it
but could be, possible.
it comes back down to immune and being like healthy, strong, being able to fight it, like, and
but not
fear
everyone is.
always
But that's where we have to look after the people who aren't.
That's
And,
right.
and people,
fully.
and it took this for people to fucking realise that too.
Yeah, that's
Like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
maybe I should FaceTime Nana instead of going to see her.
And that
Maybe
part
I
of
should
this is
fucking get
fucking-
groceries for Nana so she doesn't have to go out and get groceries.
Right, oi, that part of this whole thing is fucking brilliant. Like
Yeah.
the positive that this has had,
But
I
it
think
took
is
this
magic.
to happen for
Yeah.
people to fucking do that.
Yeah.
yeah, and to realise common sense again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
taking
little
something
things
big.
like, find themselves where it is like, oh, I haven't painted in 10 years, I'm going to go get my paints and go paint. Like,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Families connecting, being
Yeah, yeah.
like, fuck, like, oh, I like my kids.
Yeah, and
My
people...
kids are fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, what, really? Because you've
And
been at
then-
work? Cunt. Like,
and they're playing games and shit now because
It's-
so many people are fucking sick of watching the shit on TV.
100%
So
too. Like,
hopefully,
it is.
like it just turns everything around, and they realise, fuck, we've been working like machines, and this has been really great. Let's just live our life like this, and they're getting a little bit of an insight of how we've forgotten how to fucking live as Aussies, man.
Yeah,
Or-
well,
or
as a
humans
world,
in the
as a
world,
world.
but,
Well,
but
we-
really, we have to worry about Australia. Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause that's
we're,
where
we're
we are.
completely opposite to anything else going on in the world right now. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I think people have just got to sit back and realise a couple of small things that have been so lost and forgotten, especially in this day and era and time.
and see it, and like, at the end of the day, it's right there. You've just got to like take a fucking deep breath within yourself
Yeah.
and look at it,
And-
like,
and-
stop being like, oh, it's all this or conspiracy or news or
Yeah,
like at the
yeah,
end of the day,
that's a big thing.
the news might be a little bit right. They might be a little bit right.
Oh, they've got to put right
But-
stuff in there
but-
so
but
they can
so
be
it-
fucking...
exactly. But maybe the conspiracy theorists are a little bit right too. Like
Yeah.
you got to admit,
Be
these
open.
they're people, man. Like
Yeah, you
they've
gotta be
dedicated their
open-minded.
life to
100%.
something.
Like that's a
You might be crazy and you
Yeah.
might dedicate something to something batshit crazy, but at least like, what have you done? You've sat there and gone, nah, I'm right. Nah, I'm right.
My theory's
No,
right.
you're
It's
not.
Like, hang on a minute,
Like-
man. Like, if you're not going to be open to everyone's opinion and theories in a situation like this, well, then you're the fucking idiot. Like,
Yeah.
realistically,
Yeah.
you're the ignorant. You're the fucking idiot.
Hey,
Like,
I've
you
been
are.
an ignorant fucking idiot too, but
We all have, and I
Yeah.
think like that's where you've got to.
But you got to realise.
You
that.
have to take that within yourself and be like,
Yeah.
fuck, I was a bit of a dumb cunt.
oh, dude, it wasn't like I remember we went on a. You were commentating a show for us, and me and you drove home together,
Yeah.
and we were talking,
Yeah.
and you opened up my mind to a lot of fucking things because I was
Yeah.
pretty close-minded. I was like,
Yeah, actually, I think I sort of remember
and
that
I
a
was
bit,
like, yeah, there's a lot more to this world.
so and like it's question
Yeah.
everything and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
not to be right or wrong,
Yeah,
just to be
To
like,
understand it.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
if that's what that person thinks and that's what that person thinks, why don't we find a medium?
yeah, you can be open
It's
to
like-
listening to like. There's
Yeah.
no harm in listening to people.
That's right, man.
And I think
There's
you know,
no fucking harm
no.
in listening to people.
I was what well fucking
If you don't agree with them, fucking so be it.
You can
But
say
you can
that,
you can
or
hear them out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And you should be. You should be doing that. Like, listen to people, hear them out, listen to what they have to say.
But
Like,
I
Yeah.
think that's why these work, man. Like I think that's why podcasts are very moving forward
Yeah,
because
that's-
all you can do is listen.
Yeah, that's
Like
why
you,
fucking
shut the fuck up and listen to what all three of us have to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
You don't have a fucking... And then you sit on that and you think
Yeah.
about it and you go, you know what? Instead of me opening my mouth and go, you're wrong, I thought about it and realised that he was a little bit right.
Yeah.
I don't think he's completely
Well,
right.
even
but there's a little bit
even
of right.
even you look at it like the not even the original, but one of the people who made podcasts pretty famous is your Joe Rogan, right?
Yeah, 100%.
He was saying shit, and he had president electorals on and all this stuff, and then the fucking media in America tried to fucking shut him down.
Was this
because-
not long ago?
Yeah, because
Because
he
he
had,
has been shut down, eh?
yeah, because they were like, you can't be saying this shit. And he's like, it's free
Why?
speech.
That to
I
me
can say
is
whatever the
proof
fuck I
in
want.
the
Fucking
pudding.
yeah.
Why aren't we allowed to talk about whatever we want?
Yeah, but he must have been saying
Like-
something to upset him. Like he must have been speaking the truth. Because if he was saying all this
And
bullshit
he always
stuff,
has, though.
yeah.
He always has.
If he was saying bullshit stuff that wasn't,
they wouldn't have to censor it.
they wouldn't have to. Yeah,
To me, I don't think, like, to me, that's the biggest obvious thing. Like, yeah, you can call it,
Misconstrued information.
or you can call it trying to cover something up.
yeah,
That's it. Like, I don't understand why, like, information's information. Take what you want from it.
yeah.
If that scares you, well, don't think that's the, like, I don't think that might not be it. Listen to the one that makes you feel better. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, that information's there for you to take in. The fact that as well as we're getting our rights taken away from us, we're getting our freedom of speech taken away from us in a very... It's like happening under our feet. They're just not
Yeah.
saying they're doing it.
Yeah,
And no one's... And it's like, oh, no, you fucking stupid, and you just stay inside because it's going to save everyone. Like, is it? We don't know.
Yeah, like,
What-
question it. Is it?
You know, and it's not... You look at other studies, like Switzerland... Is it Switzerland? Switzerland haven't... They've got slight lockdown rules, but they haven't... it
yeah. I
hasn't-
don't know what the truth on that is though, because someone told me
Some things are a bit weird on it. Yeah.
Like I've driven through Switzerland.
Yeah.
When we've gone over and racing in Europe, dude, they got their shit on lock. They know
Yeah.
what they're fucking doing. That's why everyone's scared of them when there's a war going on.
Yeah.
Because they're surrounded by these big mountains, which they fucking... I've seen an aeroplane fly into a fucking bunker on the mountain with my own eyes. So that's not fucking conspiracy theory shit. I watched it. I was like, this plane's going to fucking crash into this mountain. And it just fucking went into it. And I was like,
joking.
yeah. And
Is
then...
that shit people talk about?
yeah, people...
Like, is that known? Or is
yeah,
that,
no.
should
So
you know?
yeah, you can Google it and it
Yeah,
comes up. And
yeah.
Switzerland, and then they've also got a base that can hold their whole population. Like, I don't know if it's underground or where it is or whatever. They can put their whole population into a fucking base. So if World War III breaks out where it's nukes and shit, they can lock everyone up. Their whole population is.
What
Switzerland.
happens when there's babies getting pumped out left, right, and centre right now as we speak? Like, is that space?
Yeah, no,
relevant?
I think I don't know. They like a lot of European countries' population doesn't grow like
Yeah. Okay.
like like Australia.
Like
They're not.
Aussies, they
They're
don't
not
just
stupid. They're not stupid. They meet someone that they fucking think is the right person to breed
Yeah,
with.
there's
They
not-
breed
there's-
with them, and then here we go.
I feel like there's not that many teen mums rocking around in
I'm
Switzerland. But
probably
they're-
moving to Switzerland.
But their borders, right? You drive through their borders. There's people with machine guns. They're waiting for you.
Fuck
yeah.
Yeah, like, and you got to buy a pass to get into their country. They check your passport. They do all that shit, right? It's on lock.
Right.
There's only a few, like, all their roads going in and out are fucking boarded.
Yeah.
So so this Corona thing kicked off. They probably just locked their borders. Hey, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stay
Do
in
it.
a safe haven.
Stay
guys.
in the fucking Switzerland. Don't leave.
Yep.
The borders are locked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're surrounded by big fucking
And
mountains.
if we don't let
like,
anyone in
Yeah, yeah.
here, realistically,
we should be fine.
we should be okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Right. That does make obviously a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
But
Dude, and it's
I'm
pitch,
moving
it's
to
out of
Switzerland.
a fucking movie, man. It's fucking, and
Even just being
they speak
there.
good English too, so you'd be right.
yeah.
Yeah.
the joint's clean too.
Yeah, it's real
meant to be
clean.
It's very-
Dude, we stopped at a servo and like it was me, Jake and Harry driving in a truck with our bikes in the back, driving from Holland to Italy.
Yeah. Right.
And so we went through, we stopped at a servo, fueled up, and Harry's like, "Can you hear water running?" And we're like, "Yeah." So we're like walking around, found a fence that had a gate in it, walked through it, and there's a fucking picturesque fucking lake running, like a river running through. Like, you'd pay money to fucking see this thing.
Right.
And it's next to a servo. Like, dude, like, and yeah, clean as, and the water was fucking crystal clear. Like, it's not, there's no pollution. Like, you breathe air. Like, you're breathing and you feel fit, man. Like, you feel energized just from breathing the air.
So clean.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit?
They know what's up. And their tunnels fucking move. Like, you drive through the Swiss Alps and they move them and shit. So they all, it's fucked up. They can move their tunnels.
Yeah, like train tracks sort of, but in a
Kinda.
tunnel.
Yeah, because we stopped
What
at
direction?
one. Yeah, direction. So, like, when peak hour was going one way, only one lane comes out the other way, but then all the other lanes are going into peak hour, whichever way the traffic flows.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because we stopped at another servo there, and because we knew we were going into a tunnel. So we're like, we'll stop at the servo, fucking get some food, fuel up and shit. Because their tunnels go for fucking kilometres.
Yeah, right.
Because you're driving through the Swiss Alps.
Yeah.
And everyone was stopped and there was a red light. Well, what the fuck's going on here? And we literally watched the like a thing come down on the tunnel. Like a garage door, but like concrete.
So, was
we're
there
like-
a little bit of like, what the fuck's going on?
We're like, what the fuck's, how the fuck are we going to get home? And then the one next to it opened.
The road shut.
And we're like, wait, that one's shut and that one's open. I hope this one goes to the same place we're fucking going, because it's the only option now.
the fuck?
Yeah. And we just went into that one. Yeah, dude, it worked. But yeah, they move and shit.
Wow,
Do you
that's
know the
some
reason for it? Like, why
Nah,
they
it was around like the 3-4 o'clock. So I don't know if peak hour was about to start and they just fucking,
the way they.
yeah.
do that? We just divert one of the roads fucking opposite way to a
Yeah.
school or
But
something.
dude, this
That's
concrete
crazy.
fucking thing just fucking,
Yeah, you're right down there, kicking away and shit.
but yeah, it's a fucking cool country, man.
Yeah, right. Old Switzerland.
But I don't think they're open to fucking people moving there. I
Yeah.
think you've got to be from Switzerland to live
Well,
there.
you know why? Because they don't want more people in that fucking space that they've built forever.
I wouldn't either. I'd be like, dude, you're not coming over
Nah,
here.
yeah,
that's
fuck
still-
So
off.
I'd have to find like a Swiss woman to marry.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. You have to head over there for a holiday.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's not a cheap holiday, too, because I don't think they want people going there.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, they're content. Like-
sure, in their eyes, we're just going to fuck the joint up and
Yeah.
dirty it.
Yeah.
Fuck tourists.
So
Yeah,
it's a real. That's why the really rich people go skiing in the Swiss Alps, because no one else can fucking afford it.
Yeah,
And that's why
right.
it's so nice.
Yeah.
Fully.
Right, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I don't know where we got. Oh, because Switzerland's bloody
Safe haven.
Good, but it's.
But
very-
even-
I reckon we live in a bit of a safe haven.
Australia's
think
fucking
Australia's
lucky.
very
Because we're
good,
pretty
yeah.
spread out.
yeah,
Fuck
and
yeah.
like space
Very spread
per
out.
whatever the fuck
Yeah.
it is, you know. And you look at things like Italy that got hit the biggest, New York that got hit the biggest.
Yeah, Spain,
They're
they all
fucking
live on
living
top of each other. Yeah.
You know, like look at us here. We've got, unless we're in Melbourne and you are like,
But even then in Melbourne, like all the apartment buildings, I think most of them are fucking for accommodate like a
Yeah,
like you know what I mean, people for business meetings and
not
shit.
many people living in apartments and shit. Yeah.
Well, there probably is, but I feel like most of those tall buildings are hotels and shit.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
but still, even so, even if they were fucking fully not vacant, like they were full, that would be nowhere near like the places overseas that they're talking about.
Yeah, like
Nah.
places like New York, like they say, the New York streets are like you're literally like
Yeah,
rubbing
dude.
through people. It's
Not
a
interested
sea
in
of
going to New York.
humans.
No,
Nah.
not anytime soon. Anyway.
Nah,
Well,
even
now
even-
maybe because the streets are empty. It looks like manfos get on the
Nah,
bikes.
but
and
I heard a story, like, and who knows if this is true too, but apparently people will throw shit at you from their balconies if you're walking around in the streets.
at the moment.
Yeah, because they think you're fucking it up for everyone. Like,
Yeah.
you're going outside, you're spreading the disease. They'll throw shit at you.
Oh man, wouldn't we have a ball over there?
Yeah.
Like, we just go outside and get
But
shit
like
thrown
it's
at
weird
us. Fuck with
because
everyone.
Or we'll be throwing shit.
Yeah.
but like you actually go out and everyone there's and cunts everywhere.
Yeah.
Like there's people everywhere when you actually go out and do shit, and it's
Yeah.
like what's everyone doing?
And that's where it's like, I'm almost like, that's cool, man. That's good to see. And people are like, oh, but you know, you got to fucking keep inside. It's like, yeah, I understand that.
But it's cool to see people outside exercising.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
but
there's
you know
so
what I mean?
many more people out on the streets these days. It's like
Yeah.
there was a point where that was lost.
Yeah.
We grew up in the time where like Christmas morning there'd be kids everywhere on the streets on
Yeah,
their bikes.
yeah.
Like
Playing
in
with their new fucking toys.
2020, this Christmas, I bet you there was fucking 4 kids in Australia out on their bikes.
Yeah.
Where like now,
They're all
March,
inside playing their fucking PlayStation.
they're all back out on their bikes, and to
Yeah.
me, like that's fucking awesome. You know, the
Yeah.
fact that the skate park shut is sort of a bit shit because
Yeah.
at least they'd have somewhere to go. I also get they're
I don't think the fucking
congregating at the
kids care
skate
that the
park.
skate park is shut.
No.
I drove past one today and it was fucking full.
Was it?
Yeah, and I was like, these kids don't give a fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's a perfect
It-
example.
it
Like,
was-
no
but
one
out in the
cares.
country, but so where Dad's new farm is,
Yeah.
I feel like the coronavirus doesn't exist to them, like because you're out in the country. They're like, no one's allowed to come here, so if I can find it, all the locals are walking around. The kids are at the skate park, the playground, all that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah. But in saying that too, when all this shit goes away and we're allowed to travel again, motherfuckers, travel in Australia.
Yeah.
Like, how many people, like I've seen a few people go, oh, when this is all over, who's up for a bender in Bali? Fucking don't go to it's dirty Indonesia, fucking
You're so
fuck
you're,
off.
If you
You're
think
part of the
like
problem.
that, you are so basic.
Yeah.
Here, let me give you a little bit of a tip. You want to go somewhere nice? Go to Perth. Get on
Yeah.
a plane. Actually, you know what? Don't get on a plane because it's too congested. Get in your fucking car.
Yeah.
Fill the cunt up with cheap petrol at the moment and drive to Perth.
Yeah. And if you're a bit of a loose motherfucker, go to Darwin.
Yeah.
There's no rules in Darwin.
Go
You
to
can do whatever
Darwin.
the fuck you want.
If you want to get really fucking loose, go to Darwin.
Last
You'll
time I was
sweat
in-
and you'll get fucked up.
Last time I was in Darwin, I saw Harry surfing a limo on top of the roof down the main street. And hey, this goes to show how fucking loose it is in Darwin. The locals didn't even bat an eyelid.
Nah,
If
bro,
you did that shit in Melbourne, people would be freaking the fuck out. What
I-
the fuck's that guy doing? He's gonna die. These people in Darwin just like Harry's on the roof of a limo down the main street of Darwin, like the fucking city centre, and the locals are on the street and they just fucking look. Oh yeah, bit of a smile.
Yeah.
Back to doing what they're doing, eating their dinner.
Bro.
Everyone's just drunk in Darwin all
Yeah,
the time.
dude, they wake up and
Why?
start drinking. Yeah.
No one gives a
Like, of course that doesn't look bad.
Like, I
Everyone's
literally,
like, yes.
we've been in Darwin for like, literally off the plane, got in the car, drove to the main strip, went to the pub, ordered a fucking drink and food, sat down, and like, right, we're gonna start talking. Bang, yelling out the front. What the fuck's going on there? There's two,
Indigenous?
Indigenous. I was trying. That's the right word. Is it Indigenous women? Quite larger women, if you will. I'm just a small guy, so everyone's pretty large to me. But anyway, they were going fucking ham and tong at each other, man,
Yeah.
in the middle of the street, like
Punch for
abusive. No, abuse at the start, just like. Where's my ciggy? Fucking sort of at the start. Well, what the fuck's going on here? Maybe one of them threw their bag at the other one, and it was just like. And then a couple of the others had come over and like yelled at them to stop yelling, and it was just like
You're making noise.
Hey, this is scene, and like the dude we were there with is like, like welcome to Darwin. This is fucking Darwin. He's loving it. It's like this joint is fucking buckwild.
Yeah. But yeah, travel within Australia.
It's
Fucking,
fucking
you
awesome.
don't need to
Yeah,
go
man.
over like.
Yeah.
like I've been lucky enough to travel most of the world
Yep.
through motorbike riding,
Yep.
and yeah, I might not have been to the big touristy places, but I've been to the country places that people don't get to go to, and yeah, it's fucking cool.
Yep.
And like Italy's the fucking coolest, man.
Yeah.
Like I'd go back to Italy in a heartbeat.
Yep.
But there's so many cool places in Australia that people that have been to Bali 7 times haven't seen.
Yep.
They haven't been out of Victoria.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? They live in Melbourne and they go to fucking Bali.
That confuses.
Bro, they haven't been out of
Yeah.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't even, fuckers ain't even been to a chuka.
Yeah.
But like it,
You know what I mean?
I always did say that though. Like I was always like, when I was young, I was like, I want to do Australia before I do anywhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
And like literally, it's funny that all this has happened. That I'm literally at the point where I feel like I've done a pretty good chunk of Australia, and it's time
Yeah.
for me to go overseas. Right when no one can go.
No one can
I don't
go.
think we're going to be allowed to go overseas. And if we are allowed to go overseas, we probably need some sort of fucking bullshit thing that I'm probably not going to agree to. So
No, it'll be a mandatory vaccination. You're gonna be like,
exactly.
No.
So I'm probably never going to go overseas, which sort of sucks balls unless I make enough money in Australia to buy a private jet and fly myself.
No, we're going overseas, man.
There's still an
Yeah.
option. Yeah, I know. I still got to
Definitely
go
doing it.
overseas, but
but there's people that need to see Australia, man.
Yeah,
They do.
definitely.
Like,
They
and,
do.
and when
They
you
do,
go
man.
overseas, man, you're gonna miss Australia,
yeah,
guaranteed. Because we were lucky enough that our parents, my dad builds motorhomes,
Yeah.
and he built one, and we left for fucking 6 weeks or something.
true. Just full
And
trip.
and we did a big trip around Australia, and then we've raced all over Australia. So we've seen a lot of shit in Australia.
Yep.
And I've been racing overseas with my brothers, and we'll be there and we see some cool shit. And Harry's been like, "This fucking sucks compared to Oz, man. Oz is like," and you miss Australia when you leave.
Yep.
But if you've seen all the cool shit we've got, like if you've only been in Melbourne and
You'd
you
be
go
like,
overseas,
"Yeah, mate, this is
this
sick."
fucking overseas is fucking dope.
Yep. Yep.
But there's
Of
so
course.
much
But
here.
when you know that you can sort of do that, but a
And when
little bit
Australia's
better.
the size of Europe,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
dude,
People like, oh yeah, but I've been there, so I've seen it all. I know what Australia looks all the same. Like, nah, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're so fucking wrong.
Yeah.
It's
dude, you can go to the
beautiful.
desert in Northern Territory, you can go to the desert in WA, and they're
Yep.
fucking different.
Completely
Yep.
different.
Yeah.
It's a fucking beautiful.
One's got
place.
red sand, one's got yellow.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. And then like even just places like Tassie.
Yeah.
Like Tassie
Oh,
is awesome.
dude,
Tassie is like one of the most awesomest places,
Yeah.
and it's sort of just like
that's where I'm moving when I retire.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
100%, dude. Because it's like, it's mad. Are you right? Flicking cables again, Buffett? Buddy. How long have we been talking shit for here, dudes?
Fucking ages.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
Hey?
Ages.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, what's ages? Well, I'm through a couple of batteries, and I'm thinking we'd have to be pushing an hour and a half.
Yeah, hour 40.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
A
What do
big
you like?
banger.
What do you like your deals to go for?
Well, they've been going for around an hour. I did one for 2 hours when I first started. I split into 2, but I'm not doing that again.
Yep.
People don't care about the second one, so I was like, fuck it, I don't care how long they go for. They can go for half an hour.
Yep.
They can go for fucking 3 hours.
Yep.
I don't care. If it's a good chat and it's interesting, keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know. Well, yeah. Well,
What are we talking about now? Hit that point where it's like, oh shit, now I've got nothing to talk about.
Yeah, you bring it up. You bring up how long we've been going for.
I don't
it.
know, but I wanted to say something before when you were talking about Aussie and that. And
Yeah, go for it.
Travel in Aussie and that, but more to the point right now, fucking Aussie business, small local businesses.
Well, I was
get
gonna,
around
yeah,
them.
I was gonna
Fucking
say
get
that
around
too.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
Definitely.
that shit, like, you know, the little...
And hopefully that kickstarts it again. Hopefully people go, fuck you, China.
Yeah,
because
man.
a lot of people are going to see this disease as China's fault.
Oh, well,
And hopefully people go, fuck you, China, and stop buying shit from there.
yeah.
Yep.
And-
Definitely.
China's only going to get more expensive. The more, like,
It was, dude. Right before this happened, China was fucked anyway.
yeah.
Like you couldn't. There was points right before, like, you know, at the start of this year, where literally, if you went to China to get shirts, you would spend more money and end up with a worse product than if you came and seen me.
Yeah. Because
Like,
now
because
they're always
they
going to do that.
overinflated their shit,
Yeah.
sort of, and it went.
Yeah, but
fucking
because I've been to China 5 or 6 times for racing,
Mhm.
and the first time I went, and I never went more than once a year.
Yep.
So the first time I went to the last time I went is 5 or 6 years different, and it was a different fucking place, man. Like,
Yeah?
yeah, the first time to the last time, and I went to the same
I
places
was
every
gonna
time.
say, was it the same place?
Pretty much. So we'd always fly into Beijing.
Yep.
and then they take us to the track from there. So and there was only 2 tracks we ever went to. So I went to both tracks 3 or 4 times each.
Yep.
So always went to the same place, and it was a completely different place, man. Like even Beijing, from the first time I went there to the last time I went there. First time I went there, I thought I was in a third world country, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they were building shit too quickly. Like the tiles, the shit they're making their roads out of doesn't have foundation. It's dirt under them.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like
Fucking
they're
right.
just putting tiles on top of dirt.
Yeah. Well, it's just fully, man.
And when
Yeah,
they break,
right.
the dude just comes and replaces them.
Yep.
And he must be going the whole time. And then the last time I went, there was a McDonald's on every corner. It looked like fucking Burke Street, man.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like,
See, every time
it was
I went
always
there,
going to go up.
Yeah. See, every time I went there, we were literally in like the third world parts. Like there was no.
Yeah, the tracks
there
we
was
went to were in
no
the third world
Westernised,
parts.
There's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
Westernized.
But how long
nothing.
ago was that?
My first ones was 2011. 11 and 12. I was going over to China, I'm pretty sure. Sorry, man, you shot that question on me. I haven't thought about this
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a little while, but yeah.
I'm just trying to think if we were there around the same time. But then I realised you're probably going to ask me when I was there. I'm in the same boat.
The question's pointless then because I don't really know.
I reckon the last time I went was 2017.
Yeah, so I was there way before you.
Yeah.
So
So I reckon the first time I went was around the times that you were going. So that's when it felt third world to me.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
And then,
Like,
so the last time I
like,
went,
man, to the point-
2017, and that's when I started noticing the shit coming from China was going up in price because of that. Like,
Yes.
I feel like
Yep.
that was all, and it was always going to go up in price. They had to get their foot in the door.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're always going to slowly put their price up.
Yeah.
So hopefully now, after all this shit, everyone's like, fuck you, China,
Yeah.
and gets back to the point we're trying to make, and spends money in Oz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's there. Like there's so many like talented and like good business in Australia.
Yeah, well,
that's
dude,
sort
even-
of just been like, yeah.
But like even MDP, right? You're in a fucking industry that China fucking
Oh,
raped.
hard.
But there's a reason I wear my MDP shit all the time.
Yeah.
Like at first, yeah, you gave a lot to me for sponsorship and stuff like that, and so I had a lot of it.
Yeah.
But I'm still like, dude,
It's still
Quality.
rocking it, yeah.
it's still
Absolute
going, man.
yeah,
quality.
yeah. And like we're talking years now.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, years, man. And
Well,
it's good
yeah.
shit. And I wear it because it's fucking comfy.
Yeah.
It fits what a fucking average, like I'm average height
Yep.
and all that shit, and it fits me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't have to guess about the size.
Yep.
Like the size I should be is the size that I'm getting from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's not templated
I'm
off
not-
a little Chinese man's body.
Yeah. And I'm not having to guess.
Yeah.
Like this is the size I fucking should be.
Yep.
Is
Yep.
the size I'm gonna buy.
Yep.
And
And get.
guess what? It fucking fits me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and like it is a big thing. And like it's weird that, like that's always been something that, because, like when we grew up in, I was always like, you'd buy a t-shirt and like at the start, you'd buy t-shirts and they'd last you forever.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, these are fucking 6 shirts. And then
Yeah.
there was just this point where you'd buy the same brand and it'd be fucking shit.
Yeah.
And like to me, I was like, I'm not gonna like fall in that trap. Like I'm not
No.
gonna have my shit one week be really good and then the next bunch of shit be terrible because I'm getting them through all these different people.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then obviously like once I was able to do it myself.
Yeah.
I was like, it's got to be 100% like the print has got to stay there like longer than the fucking t-shirt for one.
Yeah.
Because like that's some shit that the t-shirt falls apart around it, and the t-shirt's got to be good quality too. At that time, like it was all Gildan.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, Gildan are fucking good. They're good fucking classic hoodies, but they're also boxy, not fitted. They're not
No.
great. They're not really even black. They're like light. They're like dark
Charcoal.
grey,
Yeah.
right? And little things like that. And then like once AS came around, and like AS are fucking like real good. Like don't get me wrong, I know like I think a lot of their stuff does come through like China maybe, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
all
It's controlled.
They're very strict on like no child labor stuff. Like they do a lot of like organic stuff. I think most of their stuff is made in Bangladesh, so it's not even it's not like dirty Chinese factory shit, like kid
Yeah.
slave labor stuff. Like to be honest, I'd still like to end up using Australian cotton and you know, made here, stitched here, all that sort of stuff. But like, I've also got a really good relationship with AS. You know, they're a New Zealand company, so it's not even like they're a big dog either. They're still one of us to me. You know, so it is that thing. And you know, like obviously with all this, they're probably gonna maybe do a little bit more to keep it out. You know, they might start looking at businesses in Australia that start making it, like making t-shirts. I'm fucking losing me fucking words here, but like, you know, cotton, Australian cotton, and using it all down here. They might start using that stuff because that's just what's happening. But it's at the end of the day, it's quality shit, and that's what I fucking
like. I've obviously got other sponsors, right? And these other sponsors, like, they're not clothing companies. They'll be like manufacturing quad parts or something like that. So they obviously get their shirts made somewhere like that, and they get it cheap and all that shit. And dude, they don't last, man.
They're like this. They sit like up on you.
Well, they say what size they are. I like 2XL. Like, and I shouldn't be 2XL, man. But that's the size I have to get, and they don't last, man. And then my MDP, man, I wear the fuck out of it. Like, I wear this shit riding, hunting, fucking working.
And like, fucking, it's sick. It's like, I reckon the best part now is that, like, and then like, it's almost like I'm thinking about this now and realizing it at the time too, you know, like, it's almost been long enough for me to like own that respect for myself, to be like, fucking oath the shit lasts. Because like, you know, like there was a point where it might not last.
You see some dude wearing your shirt and you're like, dude, I sold him that fucking 5 years ago.
That's a 10-year-old shirt, man, and he looks like he's worn that every fucking day.
I can guarantee that, because we've punished the fuck out. Like, I have personally punished shit like over and over, and like, I'm talking, you know, riding, digging, grease. I'm a mechanic as well now, like, so it's just like grease, petrol, shit all over them all the time, and I can wear that same t-shirt once it's washed, out for dinner the next night. Like, it's fucking
dude, I do that. It drives the missus crazy. And especially if we go interstate, man, I would take all the ones that say Melbourne on them. Like, motherfucker, I'm from Melbourne.
Always, man. But like, I think it is very it's good to sort of see it like that now, and almost be like, it is fucking oath it's the best. It also makes it like super hard. It's like the biggest, like, what's like, it's against almost all business ethics, because it's like, if I sell you one t-shirt and it lasts you forever, well then I'm fucked. I can only sell one person a t-shirt forever.
Shit.
And that's where I've got to stay creative.
And that's where you will always win in that aspect, because people are always going to come back to you, though, because of quality, because of all that. You could literally make that one shirt for the same people over and over and over, because they will keep wanting it. Whether it's fucked or not. They want new shit.
I just want a fresh one.
People are weird. They like spending money.
It is. But I mean, same time too, like, it does. I'll be like the first one, you know, like, I copped one the other day. Like, sometimes they fuck out, sometimes they go through the oven, and it'll all, like, the print, it doesn't cure. So, like, you know, a dude hit me up and was like, "Fuck, dude, what happened here?" I was like, "Fuck, I haven't cured it." Like, you know, so I had to refund him. Like, he sort of sent me some shit back, and like, all it does is almost like it doesn't work quite cure. And like, your first wash, it'll pull out. Like, I know that's a thing, and that it happens, but I'm like, you know, I'm the first one to sort of be like, dude, if that fucking happens, tell me, and I'll send you another one, because like, the point of this is for you to have this t-shirt for fucking ages. And you know, then to go to the op shop for fucking more ages. And some other cunt goes, "That's a fucking sick shirt. I'm gonna buy that for $2.50.
Have you found one in an op shop yet?
It's funny, man. I actually have, but it was our shit. It was real weird. Like,
because you love op shops.
Fuck yeah.
You've come and commentated for Offer from X, and the first thing you do is, where the fuck's the op shop? What the fuck's wrong with this guy? I wanted to go to all the op shops.
These cunts are like, "We're going to the skate park." I'm like, "Where's the op shop?" But it was funny, because it was actually a fuck up. My ex moved out. There was a bunch of like just clothes to go to the op shop.
So you found one of your own shirts that you had.
Right.
You haven't found a random one yet.
Like, I'm paying for the fucking bag. But yeah, like, it was funny, because it was a full fuck up anyway, because that was like a bag that wasn't meant to go. So for some fucked up reason, like, we delivered them all to like this certain thing, and then went to the op shop, and I'm like, these are all my fucking shirts. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And then worked out that they'd taken the bag that wasn't meant to be taken anyway. So I lost a bunch of shit. I was like, fuck. I'll have to buy this back. I'll have to buy this back. I'll have to buy this back. I spent like $20 on my own shit. Like, what?
Opposite of what a fucking op shop's meant to be.
Yeah, man. But I'm waiting for the day to see like a full old school bloody crewy or just a random old jumper.
Yeah. How did MDP start? Like, because it obviously didn't start as a clothing company because it's not Might Die Clothing, it's Might Die Productions.
Nah, I think it always, like, it stemmed from the whole FXT thing.
Yeah.
That was our crew, you know, fully extended. That was what we called ourselves. It was also the name of, like, the movies we made.
Videos,
the t-shirts we repped. It was just...
I remember the videos from trade school, man. I remember you fucking showing me these videos. Yeah. And I was a racer back then, so I was like, man, it's pretty fucking out there, man.
this guy's fucking legit.
Yeah, fucking... But, where were we at then? I've lost my train of thought.
Yeah, MDP.
That's it.
Because so many people fucking so many people fucking relate to it. Might die. Like anyone that does any kind of extreme sport or
gets in their car to go to work.
Dude, might die. I might.
Yeah, it is. It's
that's one of the reasons I wear it too. Because dude, like I might die.
Yeah.
Especially
it's
if
pretty
I'm
relatable.
backflipping my quad, man. If I go down, man, I want to wear one of these.
That's it. And I think it. Like, it started from the whole FXT thing, and it's crazy because, like, even we were sort of talking about this, and we haven't really, like, talked out loud about this, but it stemmed from sort of having the whole FXT thing, and then, you know, like, back in the day, well, it's fucking weird, right? Because I swear there was a point, and, like, I almost feel like this is some weird ass, like, you know, there's, like, that Mandela effect shit. Like, I'm almost convinced this is part of this shit, right? Back in the day, Seth the Hardway, classic... Well, the actual jump where he fucking hit his head, he was wearing a helmet. And I swear when we were kids, on the VCR, when we paused it, which clearly, like, quality's not all there, it had just Might Die on the top of his helmet there.
Yeah, right.
It just was like part of it. Yeah, words, Seth. And, like, it was weird. It was like maybe part of a certain helmet, because there was a couple of helmets and a couple of other dudes had... I think there was a little kid that used to ride a 60 that was in another little short section, and he had the same sort of helmet and it had Might Die on it.
I reckon it was the graphics guy, the dude that used to do the graphics for the helmets. Would put his like his name or his business name on that breather piece.
Yeah.
It was just like a known thing, but yeah. Definitely.
And I always thought it said Might Die. So we ran with it. We were like,
and you fucking related to it.
That's fucking cool, man. Like, Might Die. Like, Seth, he's about to do a jump and he crashed his head open. That's fucking sick. That is fucking the sickest shit. So we're like, right, I fucking Might Die. And it was sort of a little bit of it was almost like a side thing because FXT was something. It was almost just like Might Die Productions is sort of like, well, it was just...
Presents FXT.
Sort of,
yeah.
And it was almost nothing at the start. I think I just made a couple of stickers at trade school because I had a name. You know, it was like, cool, I'll write Might Die.
And you could do that at trade school. You can print whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I'll do it.
We tried printing money and all that shit.
I printed so much shit. Shout out to Adro for letting me print heaps of shit. But
we printed speed limit signs, man. Changed all the speed limits around the town.
That's fucking gold.
So was Adro your teacher too?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and he's one of your mates' dads, isn't it?
Yeah. Johnny P.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking small world. So that was sort of, I guess that, yeah. But going back to the whole helmet thing and the Sethro thing with the Might Die on the helmet, I think I told you this story not long ago because just we were talking about Seth and I was like, do you know, and it's weird because you were around then, but I think it was just me and Kapiris.
Yeah, I was
There's a weird
not
stage
in this conversation
that it was like, that could have been your pocket bike stages.
Definitely, yeah.
Right? It could have been just a stage where you weren't hanging out with us as much and that's what we were like rolling with.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it was like this Might Die thing. But
we went back the other week.
We went back to it, watched Seth the Hard Way. Go back to this point where I was like, right, this is where it says it on the helmet.
Fuck, I can't remember what it says.
Fucking doesn't say it, man.
Yeah, I was gonna jump on and have a look. But
I'm sure.
Yeah, what's even crazier about that is when I was at Seth's joint when I was over there.
Yeah.
I was actually like handling that helmet, man. Like I had the fucking thing in my hand. Like, you know, all these shit's hung up and around this place and whatnot. And yeah,
I think
crazy.
that's why we were talking about it.
That's probably why we were talking about it. Yeah, but fucking yeah, pretty sick all that stuff.
Yeah, right. And so you thought it said Might Die?
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
It doesn't, man. It says, got to find that scene where he's like, it's like right where he's going up to like the big jump, his main jump. Because it's the one that he crashes.
That dude was a
Like,
badass man.
Oh,
He's a badass.
he's
man.
a fucking proper badass dude.
Like, I feel like there was times there where he knew he wasn't talented enough to do the stunt, but just fucking did it anyway.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm in now.
Ballsy as.
Fucking let's go.
I want to do this. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
My skill, I'll make myself do this.
Yeah, that's it.
Just fucking send shit.
You're not looking... At all.
I reckon it could be a little bit of a process trying to find that book.
Yeah. You could have just remembered what was on it, mate.
Yeah. That's both
Because I'm
of us
pretty.
that
It's a
can't
weird.
remember it.
It's almost like a. It's almost like a weird language.
You can skip the ads, man.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying. It's almost like in another language, like El cupo dolo lo comfort.
No, it's not.
No, this is
This
not.
is something. But yeah. I guess as well, I'm going where your first question come from, MDP and all that.
Yeah.
We Borgs has always been that creative sided person, like always had cameras and shit like that. So yeah, as you were saying with FXT and whatnot, you want to kind of present it, because that was always a thing, wasn't it? You wanted to present it with someone. We kind of went through everything. Like, I reckon we fucking put presented by Power Band Films on there, and that was even before.
The original
Schweitzer.
DVD I made, which is shitload of
That was
stitches.
way before On the Pipe.
Way before Might Die and shit.
Shitload of stitches.
But
yeah,
you-
shitload of stitches. I think that was in 2005. 2000. Yeah, I probably would have been about 2000. Yeah, 05.
So had we seen Power Band Films from the On the Pipes?
Nah,
Remember
it was-
they were
yeah,
presented
no,
by
was
Power
it-
Band?
Yeah, it was Fifth Gear. Oh, it was
Oh,
fifth.
that's right. It was.
Fifth Gear Films.
That's right. It was.
Which wasn't even anything. That was just like I put that up there so it made the video look good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just
right.
to make it look
that was
legit.
the-
Yeah,
But that's what I was
it was
saying.
like, yeah, of course we've got a film company, man. It's called Fifth Gear. I made it up myself.
That's my point in all
Yeah.
of this. Was like that's you wanted to present it with something, and it was like started off with Fifth Gear, and then it kind of Might Die was there, and
Well, I think it's weird that like the first one was Fifth Gear because I didn't have Might Die then. Might Die sort of came after that. It was sort of just like I said, a little bit of like a stickers that I made, and then I think with the whole us falling out and the whole FXT thing going.
yeah,
Well,
there
we're
was a
not
stage there
fucking
because you
FXT
guys like me and Matho kept up with the writing side, and that's all we were doing.
Yeah.
You guys kind of partied and went down
Yeah.
that scene after we split,
Yeah.
and then kind of come back and
Yeah.
started writing again. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It was definitely
I don't really know. Well, like either way, well, it would have been 06, so it would have been a couple of years after 05. 05 like the first video.
1 year
came
after
out,
05
pretty
if
much.
it's 06.
Yeah. It was almost like, I was probably like the year after, I was probably like, well, maybe I don't like the name Fifth Gear, and like, Might Die had come up and been thrown around, and I was like, well, that's what I call my production, that's my production shit. And
Yeah.
like, it sort of just went from there, I think,
Yeah.
and just sort of, and then we did sort of like the first DVD, which was Underdogs, and that was always, Might Die was always part of that, and we had a fucking Might Die massive on the side of Matho's van, driving around Australia and shit, and even then, I think early days, there was a couple of T-shirts, but it was never like brand. It was just like, let's have shirts. So the boys have got shirts, and a couple of the mates want some shirts. It was never like, let's have a brand that's like.
Wasn't it the very first stuff was chick stuff?
That was like to a point. The very first stuff, the very first stuff, I printed at trade school
Yeah.
in the screen printing class.
Yeah.
There's a screen printing section.
Yeah.
So I did little Might Die shirts there. And now that I think about it, that's probably where it started. It was like I sort of just had that other side thing where it was like, FXT, we're still doing that, but I want to do me little Might Die sort of fucking deal. And I think, and then that was the first. I did a couple of runs small in the start. Yeah, that's fucking it there, man.
It says it. That's right. Fuck. Hang on. Let me.
Fucking looks like Might Die still now. Like we've just hit another realm, and it's like now it says it.
Because quality on this is shit out. It's only 240p top. we had it on a higher quality on the TV, and we could read it as best as we probably could. You just keep talking, let me find it.
Yeah.
It's fucking
From
weird.
here, it looks like it says "might die."
But, and
Yeah.
you got to remember back in when 2006, we were watching.
whoa.
Yeah,
Angry.
you right over there.
Yeah.
We were watching VCRs on a fucking
Yeah.
shitty TV out the back. Like it would have
Yeah.
looked like shit. So it's fucking crazy that's what I seen. But now you go back to it and it's not what it is. Gotta go let me dog outside.
Yeah, I'm sure it's got something to do with the artist that paints up their helmets.
Because it's almost like it's like déjà vu.
Yeah, DJE is like what I can make it in the end. But anyway, it definitely looks like the DJE looks like die, obviously, and then there's GHT in the first word. So yeah.
On that note, if Sethro, if you're watching this, right, which I highly doubt you
I
are,
don't think he does podcast.
can you answer this question for me and tell me what you've got on your helmet? And are you willing? Can I buy that helmet off
Nah.
you because it's truly inspired?
He'll
by-
stomp that fucking question down. I've already asked him to buy one of his helmets, and he looked at me like I was asking him for fucking I don't know.
It's where the name originated, but it's like history. I totally get it. There's also history in the fact of you having a helmet that you wore when you were a mad cunt. So
Yeah.
you're still a mad cunt. But that's, I guess, sort of the half history of MDP. Like it started. I was saying, talking to this cunt the other day, that like it's funny because like there's a point where I got a job at a screen printer. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, got a job at a screen printer and was sort of trucking along there. And then I was like, right, I'm going to start doing my own shit and kick the fucking might die thing back in the ass because it's at my fingertips. It'd be stupid not to. And I think I remember going out and being like, right, I'm going to spend $100 and bought like $100 worth of chick singlets.
Yeah.
And printed them up and sort of just continued to use that kitty to move me forward the whole time.
Yep.
And like, now we're here. It's sort of
Yeah,
weird that
right.
like
So
technically
MDP started
it's
on
sort of-
$100
Sort of started on
Yeah.
$100 and a lucky
opportunity.
yeah, to have that in my hands and be like, right, there's fucking $100 worth of girls' shirts. Fucking chicks swap that shit up like it's fucking nothing.
Yeah.
And they sort of went straight in hard on it. I got to that little bit, right, now I'll do a bunch of t-shirts for the dudes. Now I'll be able to do something a little bit more full on, or, because that was at the early days where I was doing like the Siggy packet prints and all that sort of fucking shit, which is sort of pretty fucking cool. I should fucking do that again. But anyway, and then I think just because I was a screen printer and it became a job, it became way easy to turn Might Die into a bit more of a brand. And then obviously it was still the media side of it. And at the end of the day, any sort of media, it's truth be told, you make your
Goes
money,
hand in hand,
You
yeah,
make money
yeah.
from your merch. No one's gonna fucking
No.
unless you're corporate and fucking down some straight
Yeah.
edge line. You're not going to be making good money off it. So if you've got that side,
Well, even
thing and-
bands are going down that way, man, because of all the fucking
have to.
streaming and that. They have to.
Well, bands
They-
have always merch.
They've
has
always
always
had merch,
been
yeah,
the
yeah.
backbone of bands. If you talk to anyone that's done real band shit, if they didn't have merch, they would have been fucked.
Yeah.
They didn't.
But you
they
go
don't
hard
make
on the
money.
video stuff too, though.
Yeah, I try. Like that's because I guess that's where the passion is.
Yeah.
Like I froth the creation of fucking moving images and then putting them together and
Yeah.
telling a story if I can, or that's sort of my biggest.
But you're
That's what I
fucking
thought.
good at it, but if
Yeah.
you all self-taught with that shit.
Pretty much, yeah. Like I don't think I pretty much. Well, I fucking started dubbing VCRs.
Yeah.
Like I'd have 2 VCRs. I'd have a tape with all my footage on it, and then I'd have a blank tape, and I'd dub the little bits onto that tape in like that jump. Righto, we'll go about and find someone else doing a jump, put that in after it, and then go back over and add sound through. Like it was fucking grill. And like I'm shattered. I never filmed that.
Song,
Yeah.
man.
Fucking shattered, because like it would have just been huge to watch that sort of go down. I can't even remember it as much, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's just all I can sort of picture is me sort of just sitting in front of the fucking TV with plugs and cables and fucking rewind and fast forward, and so like I sort of
Your dad's
started
just
on
yelling
that.
at you because he wants to watch the footy.
Bad. He's
Shane, fuck off!
like, move, fucking, aren't you done yet? Anyway, so like that's where I started. So like, and then I think year 10 or year 9. My media teacher gave me like a burnt copy of Adobe. She's
Yeah.
like, take this home, install it on your computer, and don't tell anyone I gave it to you. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
This is sick. So I went home, installed that, and then it was like, righto, now I'm in this whole new world of like putting my footage on the computer.
Yeah.
This is like a whole new fucking side. I like learnt all that, got all that done, started dropping footage on the computer, then started learning how to cut it, and literally, like, this is before fucking YouTube. This is before fucking anything. It was like, I think
Been
I just
doing it for years.
I just had to click buttons and be like, what does this do?
Yeah.
Oh, that done that, or that done that. You know, I think I'd go back to school, and like when I'd have media, I'd be like, how do I maybe do this? Or and there was like few pointers, but I seriously think I learnt 99% of it by just clicking and being like, what does this do if I do it like that? All right, that's that. Or what do I do if I do that?
Yeah.
Or I think I need something like that. Is that gonna do it? Like,
Yeah.
And just
that's all the editing stuff. But even filming, man.
Yeah, that's all just
It's like the first time I was lucky that you were there. The first time I flipped to dirt,
yeah.
you got fucking 3 angles of it, and you're one dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I was like, I remember watching the footage back. I was like, how the fuck did he film? I only did it once. How the fuck did he film all this? He had a drone flying. He was filming, and then he had a stage. I was like,
Yeah.
how the fuck?
Yeah. That's just. I think that comes from. That's like a weird. That's all. I think that's comes
Just the
from
one
me.
man.
Yeah,
Just
and like
filming shit on yourself. Like,
always have it.
everyone always wants to ride. No one wants to film, so you gotta fucking do it all yourself.
And there always being that, like, you know, the risk in riding.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. So I was always had this like fear of not getting that.
Yeah.
One action, whether it be
Is that what
like
you-
the one trick that you
Yeah.
wear, or you know, you crash. No one wants to crash, but we all know it fucking happens. You also want that on camera, yeah, to be
Yeah.
like, what happened? Oh, I fucking hate it hard. Like, so I was always like, make sure I fucking film everything. Now I've learnt from that and sort of find a happy medium and just,
Yeah.
but still, sort, you know, like there's fucking 3 cameras here. At the moment, 2 of them, one's dead on me, and I can't be fucked with that anyway. As I was going through it too, I was like, that's going to be the biggest file ever.
Fuck.
Like, it's recording in 360, 5.7K. We're going for like an hour and a half. Yeah, we'll cut that one short. But anyway.
Yeah, he's always. And I'm probably a really good person to vouch for this stuff he's talking on and just say, you know, like he does, he's fucking worked hard at it, and I guess it's definitely not, he doesn't get the fucking rep and the words said about him he fucking should, because I guess there's, you know, only a few amount of people know it. Like,
Yeah.
And I am one of them, so I guess, yeah, like he fucking has his work super, super hard the whole time to get the knowledge he's got, and he's done it all on him fucking by himself. Like,
Yeah, well, when we filmed the edit that where I was riding the quad at Cruise X, he didn't fucking stop.
Yeah, man.
Like,
that's
he's
the thing.
running.
Like, you can see the passion in it
Yeah.
too when you're there doing it. It's like most people go, fuck, that's a fucking job. Like that.
Yeah.
You know, that's what people, I'm not doing that, but he's thriving in it. He's in his fucking element.
Yeah.
Running around.
And I threw my first flip, and he was more pumped than I was.
Yeah.
Dude, he was going nuts.
And that was pretty much our whole upbringing, riding childhood from when we first started hanging out. He was always the vocal loud one that was pumped on every motherfucker doing something, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was very stand out growing up that he was the fuck yeah, no matter what was going on, you know. And obviously us being riders, we would get in the very head down and fucking, you know, we'd only see what we were trying to do. Where Borgs would stand back and kind of, because he had to, he was filming it all. He'd stand back, see it all happening and going on, and he'd be like, fuck yeah, like this is sick. Where I guess myself, I was kind of in it and riding and just focusing on what I had at hand because it was a fairly big job, but. Yeah, it was definitely, it's gone on since day dot. Like he's fucking, ran around and done
I don't
it all.
even think I was going to flip that time that jump that I flipped. I was like, I'll do a few more practice runs. And he's yelling at me, you got this, bro, you can fucking do it. And I'm like, nah, fuck, I might as well get it done.
Yeah, man.
No,
I think I think it is, and like, to be honest too, like I've seen some with that like that vibe I bring. Like I've seen some wild things go down with it.
Yeah.
You know, like
You would, man.
Andy for like that is still one of the most like miraculous shits I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like everybody doubted him. I could almost admit that even I did.
Shout out Mad Dog.
Fuck yeah. But I was so convinced in him that I had to believe him.
So this is when he flipped
after
being paralyzed. So Yeah. Paralyzed
Huge.
dude doing a backflip.
Yeah,
Technically shouldn't work.
Right,
And first one in the world at the
against
time.
all
Yeah.
odds. Like,
Yeah.
and I know the odds in the fact of like I'd done a backflip sitting down. It doesn't work.
No.
It fucking doesn't work.
No.
and everyone told him that, and he told them all to get fucked. And like, and there was points where like I think there was like a fucking where he almost like it was like the night before or a couple of days before, and like because like we'd been traveling around in his Subaru and camping out places and shit. So like we were like camped out in the back of his thing, and I even almost like feel like there was a point where he did almost like break down to the point where it was like everyone's telling me I can't fucking do this, but I fucking know I can do this.
Yeah.
And it was almost that point within myself that I was like, I see where they're all coming from.
Yeah.
But where you're coming from is so fucking strong that I don't give a fuck about these cunts.
No.
I'm gonna believe, like, I want to believe you.
Yeah.
Like, you got this, and he fucking did it, man. Like,
Yeah.
there was complications, but the thing that everyone said he couldn't do, he did that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that to me was that perfect thing of like, man, that's some miracle shit. If you are so fucking strong minded in doing something, you'll do it.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck it be.
And lucky, like what you started on with, that you got to film all that.
And yeah, like
see
I
it.
was a part of it.
You
Yeah,
get
it
to
was.
see these things because of the cameras, basically, because you're there looking at it with your own eyes, and you've got to see it because you're filming it, and
Yeah.
that's probably a big plus to what you do and have done over this time and what we lived through. Because fuck, some cool shit went down.
Oh man.
And I can say, like, being a writer and in and around it, you could be there and seeing it, but because you're actually doing something yourself or writing or what, you're worried about that. Where his job is to fucking watch everyone.
Yeah.
Capture those moments.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I'm like, fuck, like I wish I filmed so much more.
Yeah.
As a young kid too, you know, like just more like conversations and more just shit that you'd be looking on now and be like, wow, that's how we acted and that's how we were. Like, because back then it was always, and you know, like we used film. You couldn't just record for fucking ever and be like, fucking digital, bruh, let's just fucking let them roll. Like,
Yeah.
you spend fucking 2 tapes, you know, you're paying. It's like, righto, you got that tape and all that sort of shit. But I fucking lost where I was going with that.
Yeah, so man, I can't pick you back up either.
No. I don't know where you went.
But I don't know, yeah, I think just filming, fuck it, it's, yeah, I just like it, it's good.
Wow, well,
Yeah.
you're fucking good at it, man.
Cheers.
Fucking oath. And
Appreciate
people
that.
can see that.
Yeah, and I do,
Yeah.
and I think that's a big push too. Like when
Well, when you
props will always fucking.
And I'm
put
just
some
going to throw
fire
it
up
out
your
there a
ass.
little bit
Yeah.
too and say that you should probably own it a little bit more.
Yeah, no, but I like to stay humble.
Oh, you can stay humble, but you.
But
can
at the same
always-
time, I know where I know what
You
I'm
even
fucking
say it
good
to
at.
me, man.
Like,
You got to own it a little bit more.
Yeah, and I do
Yeah.
know what I'm fucking good at, and I know I'm fucking good at it, but yeah, I don't like to brag either.
100%, and that's what sells too. And I
Sit there and
guess
go, yeah, fucking I'm the best.
yeah,
doing it
definitely.
well.
But you can also
Like deep down, I know that, but I'm not going to tell you that. I know I'm fucking grouse.
yeah.
for sure.
But you know that rubs wrong on people. But I do know what you mean. Like I do put it down to like I forget how far I have come. A lot of the
what
time,
you've done,
which
because
we
you've
all do a
fucking
lot of
done
the
it.
time,
Dude, and self-taught too.
Yeah, and that I just sort of don't, I don't take that on. It's just to me, it's like, well, that's just what I did. But like when you put it like that, it's like, yeah, fuck.
So the least you can do is go and jump on livediefree.com, buy a couple of garments or tees or whatever you want.
Yeah, well, that's
or,
it.
Support the
or
cause.
jump over to the Patreon or the fucking YouTube and jump on and give it fucking all the support.
Yeah,
Because he
do
works
it.
hard.
Yeah.
Cheers, boys.
Plug it. Like,
Yeah, yeah, get on it. We got livediefree.com. Suss that out. Patreon.com.
That's where you can get the clothes. I'll explain it a little better because he doesn't like to explain his own shit. I.e. why I say you've got to own it a little more.
I know.
But yeah, Live Die Free is where you can get MDP clothing from, and that's
all the quality stuff that we were talking about earlier.
Earlier,
Because
yes.
what I do is quality. I'll own that. But
fucking oath. And then Might Die Productions YouTube channel
yeah,
and Might Die Production Patreon.
yeah. Patreon.com/mightdie.
Yeah, you can get on there and support, and
Get
there's
on
all
there. You get a t-shirt every month
for $50. It's US dollars, just to throw that out there. It is US dollars. To be honest, we have no idea what's going on with the US market at the moment. So that could be, you could be getting t-shirts for $80. You could be getting t-shirts for $24. It's a wild ride we're living on at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. But at the end of the day, that's an option that you can choose. It does help us out. It's actually been one of the best things
That's been put in place.
that has, you know, it does. It just gives us a lot more accessibility to be able to like do things, have time to pull things off, spend money on things that maybe we didn't want to spend money on or couldn't spend money on earlier. You know, puts fuel in the car to be able to do shit. Not that we're allowed to drive at the moment, but at the same time too, it's also a good time to have a bit of a building a little bit of a kitty. So when we
And
do
we're going to
get-
thrive
when we
get
do
back
get out. Oh, it is fucking
We're going to thrive
on.
because it's a little bit of a break now,
You know,
off season.
Yeah, but yeah, other than that, that's the Patreon. That's where it happens. Other than that, the old YouTube is where you get some good old entertainment. There's fucking hours and hours and hours worth of footage on there.
And yeah, exclusive stuff on the Patreon.
And
That's
yeah,
why
a
I've
bit
got
of
it.
exclusive on the Patreon and to get your t-shirt.
Yeah.
Other than that, Facebook, Instagram, all the normals. Just Might Diet. It's fucking, you'll find us. Might Die.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's mint. Well, that's been a fucking wicked couple of hours.
This has
Fuck
been a
yeah.
big one.
Yeah.
It's been a sick one, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fucking...
It's good fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't
That's why I
mind
keep
it.
doing them.
Yeah, it's like we've been talking about it too. You know, like I did that one with him.
Yeah.
Obviously, like we've both
That
sort of
was a
come a
little-
long way to any. That was more just to get a lot of stuff off his chest and like,
Yeah,
get it out
And
there.
I was in a pretty scattered time still then in my own head. I was
Yeah,
still
yeah.
figuring so much out. Like I was only a week out of rehab. So it was
Yeah.
Yeah,
a full-on time.
yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, this has definitely made it a lot more like Yeah, this
Solid.
is easy, and we could probably do this a bit more.
Not
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
easy, man. It's got its challenges.
It does,
100% got its challenges, but that's I think the
but
push
it's
to
also
do it,
fun. Like
to
it's
thrive.
good. You sort of you
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
banter's good. You sort of talk about things that you might not talk about
It's definitely enjoyable.
in normal context because
Yeah.
you do have that. Oh, this is how we're looking at it. Let's look at it like this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm digging the podcast deals.
Yeah. Well, if you start one up, I'll come on as a
Definitely,
guest.
definitely
we'll
be
pay
one
back
of the
the
guests.
favour.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, does that mean we call it? Do we
Yeah,
say
that's
goodbye
it.
pretty soon?
Yeah. Let's wrap it up, but we'll do this again anyway because
Mm.
this was a good one.
Definitely. I'm
Yeah.
definitely keen to.
Hopefully hopefully this is all fucked off, this corona shit,
Yes.
and we'll get you out to fucking Dad's new farm
And
when that's all built up. And
And we'll
the-
have a bit of a jam.
yeah, and we'll definitely have pit bike jumps and fucking.
I've just rebuilt my Wazza 250. She's
Yeah,
ready
yeah.
to
Well,
go.
it's a big safe downy because Dad wanted to make sure everything was as safe as it could be. So
I like safe.
yeah, it's gonna be a big safe downy, multiple
Sick.
ramps and shit, nice and wide, big deck.
Fuck yeah.
Fun times ahead.
Ripping.
Airbag will be set up too, so it'll be mint. We'll have his out there and we'll do another one.
Fucking
Sick.
oath, man.
Keen
Sounds
as.
good.
Well, there you go. You better stay around and keep on the old. What do you call it? Keep on our social medias, apparently, all that stuff. So you know when we're all doing all this
Yeah,
stuff.
when all
Yeah,
the cool
that's
shit's
it.
going
It's
down.
all happening. And let us know what you think of this podcast, so we can do more of them. Give
That's
us
it.
some
Yeah,
criticism on what we can all do better, because
Fuck
we're
yeah.
all just here having a go, and that's
we're
the
just
main
guessing.
thing. Yeah.
And cheers fucking to you, Mitch.
Yeah.
For giving us the
Thanks for having us,
opportunity,
brother.
man.
Yeah, no,
Fucking
thanks for
appreciate
coming
it,
on
bro.
the Vliet Street podcast.
Anytime.
fucking-
Pleasure.
And everyone get around Vliet Street. Fuck
Vliet
yeah.
Yeah.
Street.
If you need a new podcast to listen to while you're doing your thing, get on the old Vliet Street, ladies and gentlemen.
Fucking oath.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Right on.
Wrap it up.
Peace out.
Catches.
Are you still here? Are you still here? Two and a still. How long is it? Like 2 hours and 15 minutes or
You
something.
haven't
You've
done
been
bad
sitting
then.
here. Well, bloody good on yous. Much thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that and you want to see more, there should be a video here, and then technically we'll go here
like
somewhere.
here.
Yeah.
Just like
Video. Subscribe.
get around.
See you in the next one.